Older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
It just crossed him over. Next to another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover.
Yeah, what if they don't celebrate?
That's
John
a good question.
And
Good question.
Josh are here.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Great. Good.
Well, after the traumatic experience you had in the studio, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about
do the
you.
folks know about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We broke it to them at
we
the
have
end.
we have new people coming in all the time.
We do.
You know, and I don't know how you guys feel, but when I see people throwing up, it's a traumatic experience.
That's me.
Or at least
just
it's close enough to a traumatic experience.
So yeah, we were beginning the tweet bag segment. We took a phone call from
we were beginning the tweet bag segment, and Josh needed a barf bag.
There was a different bag going on. Josh got it. Sometimes Josh gets up during the show. Like
Nick does that to just leave the studio in the midst of a segment.
Yeah, it's a little odd, but
don't do that.
We had it under I had it under control. We
Yeah.
were taking a phone call.
Yeah.
And then he didn't leave the room, and he was sort of over here, and I have these computers blocking me. So
Oh,
I can't,
thank God.
I can't exactly see what's going on. And so I peek over there. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do or say. And Josh was puking in the trash can. And I looked over there, and I think I said out loud, like, Josh, are you okay? Oh no, you're not okay.
When you see half of the contents of his innards being regurgitated.
Yeah, what do you have for breakfast?
And then we didn't address it for a couple segments.
Oh, so it just happened
for like an hour, probably.
That would have derailed the
Were
whole
people
segment for
talking
me.
about it on YouTube?
Nobody
Was
seems to
Dion
know-
saying anything?
Nobody.
Oh, is
seems
there a
to-
replay of this?
There is.
Can we
Oh my
watch?
gosh, I'm gonna go find this.
You can see the moments right before.
Are we going to Zapruder this?
You can't.
What time was this?
This
Like
is
noon?
probably just a hair after noon.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. All right, so I rewinded just a little bit, so we'll see how long it takes him.
I wish we could share this.
Okay, watch now. He's gonna take a huge swig of water. So he's obviously he has a little breath. He's looking. He's looking. God, look at this face.
And then right there, back and to the left.
Puts it down, and then
At that point, he knows.
Yep, he leans forward.
Oh, no.
He's contemplating his entire life.
This is great plot.
Yeah,
Keep going.
He was
I'm gonna
very
keep going.
pale.
Oh, so he opened his mouth. So he's probably getting water. When you he's gonna text his wife probably here. I think I'm getting sick, honey. I'm about to puke on the air.
Meanwhile, Connor just chatting away.
Yep, not paying attention.
chit-chatting
Looking at the phone screen.
Not even aware that his good buddy, who's just 3-4 feet away from him, is in a life-changing situation.
Leans back, takes off his headphones. Oh, he's trying to decide. Do I gotta puke? Yep, I gotta puke. Oh my God. Oh no! And then he leaves the camera, and he's standing next to the trash can. It's probably for the there he is. You see him bending over. Meanwhile, Happer's like, I'm a huge fan of Bobby Witt. I can't wait for baseball. Yeah, you literally haven't noticed. You're like looking this way.
I didn't know what was happening until
Josh, you can still see his ass. I should get a screenshot.
Yes.
All right.
We need a screenshot
I got
of
one.
that, please.
Yeah. You're still talking. I'm still waiting for Happer to notice. you had told us this though. Like you don't see him very much unless you're
No.
a long pause.
I didn't know what to do.
His butt is occupying the lower corner.
I didn't know if he wanted to talk about it or
He
not.
is keeled over for a long time there.
This has been about a minute, and now you're silent right now. So
I think we're taking a phone call.
during the tweet bag.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, Connor's still
okay.
chit-chatting away.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
currently
now he's leaning over
Oh
to
no,
look.
I rewound it too far.
All
I
right,
am
go.
currently doing the show with Random Mike, who had called in
Oh,
during
okay.
the tweet bag. Yes.
And at one point, Connor just looks out of his chair
Yeah.
and leans way over to the right to see what his good buddy is doing, why he's keeled over the garbage.
Did I go too far? Yeah, I need to find when you suddenly looked over,
Yeah.
you peeked around.
Yeah.
I think I went
Did
too
I just
far.
immediately return back to
Basically,
my spot?
Yeah, you
yeah.
just kind of looked over.
Yeah. So good stuff. Poor Josh.
It's the best because you can't actually see him doing anything.
You just see
All
his
you
ass
see
the
is
whole
his-
time. The on-air sign would have been perfect, right?
I'm sorry, Josh. Producer Josh.
He's okay. He's okay.
but this is because I got a vomit streak, man. I'm Seinfeld. I got
Oh yeah, how long has it been?
it's been a long time. I got a vomit
since
streak.
93.
It goes back to it was Halloween.
Halloween
I remember,
week.
and it was during the World Series. I can't remember which World Series though, but we were having, and I haven't had it since. Long John Silver's
Oh,
made me sick.
that's bad. Were we
And-
talking like 90s?
No,
Early
no.
2000s?
This is within the last 10,
Sorry,
12 years
Just got
Okay.
the screenshot. I got the screenshot of Happer leaning
of
over.
leaning over.
Yeah. Classic.
But it's so good because all you see in the lower, like 1/8 of the screen, the lower right hand corner,
His
all you
butt.
see is his butt.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he's keeled over the garbage can.
So then we were about to send him off. He had done his last segment.
Okay.
And I was trying to explain why I was trying to somehow explain why in the next segment Josh wasn't going to be here and that Dan was going to be here.
Okay.
And Josh said, "We can talk about it. Let's talk about it. It'll be fine." And then there's a moment of silence, and he says, "I puked during the tweet." I threw up in the trash can during the tweet bag.
Oh man.
Oh,
Just tweeted out a couple screenshots. Dave says, "How bad does the studio smell right now?"
No,
I didn't even know. Thank God.
One of the things I made sure of was I feel bad for you. I'm sorry that you feel so bad,
But
but
get
you
that
gotta
outta
take
here.
that trash out of here. Yep, you gotta take that trash can.
That was my only thought when I walked in here.
Was what it was smelled like.
I was
Oh,
like, if
yeah.
it smells like puke in here, I might not make it through
Yeah.
the end of Happer, let alone all of your guys' show. So, which those were the best texts to get from Josh ever because he goes, "Hey, I'm feeling a little queasy. What time are you planning on coming in today?" As in, like, he's like, "Oh, don't rush or anything."
Meanwhile, he's been-
I'll be fine. I may have to vomit again.
5 minutes later, he texts me and he goes, "So I just vomited in the studio." And I go, "All right, I'll make it ASAP
Does he
then."
sit back down and
So
then
he
get
sits
up?
back down and takes a huge swig of water. Just a massive swig of water. Looks like he
Swish it around
burped a
a
little
little
bit. Yeah, seriously. Just his glasses, looks at the board. That's a professional. We all celebrated Patrick Mahomes. Oh, bum ankle.
Yeah.
This is playing through pain.
Yes.
This is what I love to
The
see.
Josh flu game.
Yeah. Wow.
Hurt ankle. Ooh, you got an owie.
Yeah,
You got to play
exactly.
through a bad tummy and you're barfing all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a bad experience.
It's a
Yeah.
tough thing to do.
That is playing through pain right
Hell
there.
yeah. Good on you, Josh.
That's heroic.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Heroic and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. So that will be the episode of the Connor Happer Show, the one where Josh puked. It'll probably appear. It'll probably appear on a best of at the beginning of the year.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year, Josh pukes.
Oh man. Yeah, Brandon says Happy New Year. Oh yeah. Happy New Year indeed.
That
Wild.
was world class.
Wild.
The one where I'm just looking up to the side.
So funny. So
He
perfect.
leaned over. Are you okay, there,
So
buddy?
perfect.
Oh, what's going on?
You okay there, little?
Josh's butt.
I don't remember what the frame is, but it's the famous frame in the Zapruder film. That's the famous frame right there.
That's the one. What?
That's the famous frame right there.
Oh Lord.
Where Connor's head goes back and to the right.
Oh yeah, to
left,
the right. Yeah.
His right,
Yeah.
your left.
Our left. Yeah.
That's right.
Man, Hap, I thought today in the crossover that we were going to spend many minutes talking about Nebraska and Creighton fans.
Oh, for God's sake.
And instead we ended up talking about Josh.
No,
Pugh.
that'll
Oh,
just
this is
be
much
on
better.
your private
This is
chat
much
room
better.
tonight.
This is much better.
Yeah, you, John, and I can talk about Creighton and Nebraska fans today. You want to do that?
No,
Okay.
no. They both annoy me.
They do.
Thank you. That's-
Great take.
That's what.
Great take.
I'm here to say it.
Yeah.
They
The
both.
fan bases for both programs can't stand you. Just can't stand you. The basketball fan bases, nah, not for me. I'm okay.
It's just
It's just the discourse is horrible.
the discourse is horrible.
It's just the worst.
What's that? Rent free.
Yeah, rent free. Everyone's rent free.
Everyone's rent free. If that's
Exactly.
the case, somebody tell me where I can find all this rent free stuff so I don't have to pay a mortgage anymore.
Oh wow, Biden
Wow,
much?
very Biden.
Jeez.
Well, if everyone else is living rent free, why can't I live rent free?
I would love to
Spread
live.
the wealth, John.
I would love to live rent free.
Well, apparently the wealth is being spread.
that would be
You know,
nice.
for a state that considers itself so hardcore Republican, we have a lot of free rent going on around here.
Thanks.
And that's the thing.
You're living rent free in his head. Oh, he's living
Everybody's
rent-free in your
telling
head.
each other that they don't live rent free, and the other person said, but in fact they do. They
Yes.
all do. Everybody lives rent free.
My favorite part, and Happer and I did text about this a little bit last night, is that it's not just the fans, it's the media that covers. It's the beat writers too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't believe Nebraska fans say that. You're a beat writer. Leave me. What are you doing? Everyone, again, rent free. Everyone's rent free. It's incredible.
It's free, yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm going to watch The Last of Us now after reading all these tweets. And I watched The Last of Us.
I'm glad I missed all of this. I only
Yeah.
caught up to it this morning, and then the mute button came out.
Oh, Jack Mitchell got muted?
No,
Okay.
no, I just made fun of him on his show.
I did a mute. I did a mute last night.
Who?
That one guy who always.
Oh, the basketball guy? Oh, no. Okay. The orange
I don't know.
basketball guy.
Oh no, not that
Okay,
guy.
okay.
I've never heard from him before.
Okay.
He didn't deserve to be muted.
Who'd you
yet.
mute?
Some guy who always. I can't tweet about Creighton without like getting some whoa something from him, like
Oh, okay.
gangster fan or something like that. I'm like, I'm
Oh.
watching basketball. Guy.
Yeah.
I like watching basketball.
Yeah, that was so funny when you were telling the story earlier about how it was halftime and you were like, hey, you should turn it over to this
Yeah.
game. It's really good. No,
I wouldn't dare.
I'd rather die. Jeez, and watch the
Okay,
game
fine.
for a couple minutes. Man.
Seriously, I was like, turn it to FS1. They're like, well, yeah, right. Turn it to BTN. I don't want to hear Mike DeCourcy talking about how every Big Ten team should get into the NCAA tournament.
Exactly.
I
Well, even Pavelka's triggered about Mike DeCourcy.
he's mad at Mike DeCourcy.
Why is
Have you-
Pavelka mad at DeCourcy? What
He
did
sent
DeCourcy
memo
do?
to Mike DeCourcy. Stop saying that the teams who lose to Nebraska have bad losses. How about that as a memo for Mike DeCourcy?
Wow.
That's what he said. We played the recording of it earlier.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Wow.
Pretty funny.
That's well, I mean,
I'm reading these responses, Happer, from
it-
last night. They're
it-
so funny.
is it a bad loss? I mean,
It's a quad.
mean,
what was it, John?
it's-
It's a quad
it's-
what loss?
well,
Depending on if
it's-
it's home or road.
it's Creighton's worst loss.
It's
I mean,
yeah,
that
it's
according to the
definitely
team,
Creighton.
according to
well,
the team sheet,
Yeah.
according to the old team sheet, the net team sheet on the Warren,
We
Warren
love the
Nolan.
Warren Nolan.
Love me some Warren Nolan. Yeah, Nebraska at number 94 is Creighton's worst loss, and it's their only quad 3.
It's a quad 3 loss if you lose to Nebraska at home. Rutgers suffered a quad 3 loss last night.
Yes, they did. But
They did suffer a
That's
loss.
not Mike DeCourcy saying that. That's Warren Nolan and the NCAA's net sheet.
That's the net.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because the Big Ten right now, there is still, by the way, a scenario where Nebraska could finish 3rd. As someone said, I don't know if that's true or not.
There's a scenario where Nebraska's
Okay.
still going to double bye.
Is this a? And I know a lot of people get triggered because unless your conference does well in the tournament, no, the tournament doesn't determine how good your conference
It's
is.
about matchups.
But
Josh hates college basketball.
is this a really, really good competitive conference, or is it just a lot of mediocre?
Yeah. I think it's a
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I really don't
a couple
know.
years ago, we thought it was the best conference ever. This guy was the one person pushing back a little bit.
Oh, me?
He was the one person
yeah.
asking questions.
I
saying,
was.
Are we sure it's good?
Yeah.
Are we sure the Big Ten's good? And he was right.
Well, they always tend to flame out in the tournament.
They really do. No matter if it's a good year or a bad year, they always suck.
Well, and here's the thing: when you play,
that one was hilarious. When Illinois got bodied by who was
Loyola.
It? That
Loyola.
was so.
They got
funny.
crushed by that
Yeah,
Cameron
that was
Crutwig guy.
hilarious.
He was crapping all over that big guy for Illinois,
oh yeah,
Coburn.
Good times.
Oh man, that was great.
Good
but-
times.
the problem is, and this can go for anyone. I'm not just going to pick on the Big Ten. This can go for anyone because now everyone's playing the 20 conference games. When you play so many conference games, all you're doing is beating up on each other.
Right.
And so the one or two really good non-conference wins you get just put you that much above everyone else. But then you start beating up on each other, but you really don't have a great idea of whether or not the league is actually good because there's not enough. There's more in basketball than in football, obviously, but there's still not enough data points at times in college basketball to really determine if a conference is better than another.
But it's the same thing in every league. Like you are managing your way through. You're trying to win one game at a time or 2 games in a week and whatever it takes to do that. You're not thinking about like the big picture, but at the end, it becomes so tough to win on the road. I mean, we're talking about the Big Ten and the Big East now.
Yeah.
Where, everybody at the end is 500. Like Nebraska is 6-10 in the league right now.
Yeah.
They have 4 games left.
Yeah.
They could go 10-10. That's
so wild.
That's still
But the
real
fact
thing.
that 10-10 could get you third place.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, like Purdue is the
Wow.
only team that's for sure good.
Yeah,
and they're kind of struggling right now.
By the way, on the Rutgers,
real quick, they're
on
in
the
12th place and they could be a 3 seed in the league. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, everybody's 9.
I mean, obviously it's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
But
I mean, it'd take a wild set of circumstances. By the way, Nebraska is not the Rutgers' worst loss.
Not.
They lost a neutral site game to Temple back in November.
who loses to Temple?
Yeah,
Well,
geez, what is this?
the Rutgers
2004.
Joke
The
program.
Rutgers. does.
Somebody asked, by the way, on YouTube, where is the timestamp for Josh throwing up?
Probably about 2 hours.
2 hours and 7 minutes if you want to see him take the huge swig of water and then make his way to the trash.
Some
can.
good theater for the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, nice couple minutes.
You know what? When we maybe we can make another request of our fine friends over there at the ACX theaters.
Oh no!
Oh, re-air this?
Oh
yeah,
no!
put it in the
on
trailers.
the big screen.
Yeah, put it in the trailers.
So Josh
Just wedge it in between a couple of previews.
So Josh could be like the MC for this,
Yeah.
and this could be his like hype video.
Oh
And
my
We
gosh.
just bring now. Welcome Josh Hodson. Here comes the video. Everything goes dark.
Yes.
Josh takes a swig of water.
You're talking to random Mike about God knows what. Then he goes and pukes. Awesome.
See, this is
I
why
would definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
I this is why I wish that, we had the technology in the studio. I mean, we've added the cameras. We really should have microphones everywhere.
Oh,
if we would have had the wastebasket microphone, that would
no. You mean
Let's not put microphones everywhere.
like the bass microphones when they put them for the World Series and everything sounds like.
and can you and you can imagine the echo off the
On
metal
the
of
huge
can.
bases now. They're just getting
Oh,
bigger and bigger.
big.
Oh yeah,
bases.
now they're going to be able to put like giant mics on the
The
bases. There's plenty
photoshops of the
room.
bases of the huge
Oh,
base.
they're so
I was
funny.
dying this
Yeah,
morning.
they are so funny.
Check
They're
out
so-
this base. It's huge.
baseball.
It's like this much bigger than the other base.
Yeah, in reality, it's not that much bigger, but we're going to make it out to be
So-
huge. I look forward to Dak Prescott doing commercials about sleeping on his sleep number base.
Oh, it's big enough for it, man. I got the California
I get
King.
game-changing sleep on my sleep number second base.
California King base.
Maybe that explains why he's been throwing so many interceptions. He's been sleeping on a base instead of a bed.
Instead of a
lately.
bed.
He's
Because
not getting
bad
the
for
damn
the
it.
arch.
Come on, Dak. Get
Damn
some
you,
sleep.
Major League Baseball.
Did the pitchers and catchers report? Did that happen
Oh,
today?
they reported all right.
Oh man, they report. You decide. Wow.
Haven't seen many videos because it's pretty kind of nasty down in Phoenix right now.
Oh yeah, I heard it's a little chilly.
A little chilly, a little rainy, a
Oh,
little windy.
Oh, wow.
sounds like Omaha.
So the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and another natural disaster happened.
Yeah.
nice.
Well, I mean, the last time they won, look what happened.
Yeah.
What can we expect now?
Creighton win the Big East, and
Oh yeah.
COVID happens again.
Oh, not again. COVID part 2.
But Creighton wins the Big
Well, I
East.
mean,
Sean
Josh-
crying on the
Josh-
radio again.
But then
Josh-
the tournament
Josh
gets
did-
canceled.
Josh
again.
did throw up in the trash can.
He did. Yeah. Is this the beginning? Is he patient 0? I hope he's feeling okay. I tweeted at him. He didn't respond. So I hope he's doing okay.
He's probably taking a nap.
Yeah, I would. I'd
Or
be taking a
puking
nap
some
right
more.
now.
We're puking some more.
Puking some more.
I mean, like I said, he recovered pretty well after the initial puke. There
Yeah,
could
he
have
was here
been,
for another hour.
there could have been more,
For the initial-
but not
Yeah.
from what I saw.
Wow.
He's more of a man than I am. I would have been like, all right, see ya.
Yep.
You're producing
Yeah,
your own
what-
show now.
What's the protocol for that? We'd have to have Josh come in and press some buttons for. I don't know what to do over here. I'm sure I could do it.
I've never used this board. I can figure it out though. I'm sure. I almost puked on air once.
You
I was
did,
filling
that's
in.
right,
I was filling in
yeah.
for Nick. Sasha was producing back in the day, and I just don't know what happened to me that morning. But I had to take Jim Rome would have been proud of the pauses that I was taking after some of my statements because I could feel it.
Plugs.
And I had a trash can next to me, and I thought I was going to throw up on the air multiple times. Thankfully, I never did.
Could you feel it? Could you feel it?
Can you feel
Could you feel it?
Nice.
Nice. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, it was almost bad, but I didn't.
Chris.
Thanks, Joel, by the way, for sending us the meme. It's the Stewie and
With the Connor Happer Show graphic.
graphic.
Oh, that's good stuff, Joel. Also, people are triggered about saying rent free. So,
I know. Jack is already.
Drac
on
is
one.
triggered. Dad is triggered. There's nothing that
Y'all
lives.
are triggered. You're all getting free rent. Please let us know, where do we apply for this? Josh and I would like some free rent.
I would love free rent.
Yes.
My rent's going up.
Oh,
Yeah, not great.
well, maybe you need to start living rent free in someone's head.
There's a lot of people who are obsessed with me on Twitter, so maybe I could live rent free in their heads.
Can join my political party. Me and that one guy with the crazy beard. The rent's too dang high.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm with Dan. I
Wow.
stand with Dan.
I would be careful.
I stand with Dan.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
I can't believe Jack is still triggered.
Yeah, well, get ready.
Actually,
Really?
I can't believe
Really?
that Jack
Yeah.
is.
I can't believe the sun is still hot. By the way, Dan,
Yes.
I met your mother on Saturday.
Oh, lovely.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. One of the gentlemen who sits right behind me got my attention during a commercial break and said, "Hey, you know Dan, your producer there at station?" I said, "Yes, Dan Campen, and yes, this is his mother." And she was sitting 2 seats down, and she had her hand in her hands like this, and she's crying. And I'm like, "What is wrong?" Said, "I'm so sorry for my son. He's a terrible person. I know this, but."
That sounds like my mom.
No, she was very proud of you. I said, "We love
She wasn't
Dan."
crying.
No, she was happy. Oh yeah,
great.
She was a very nice lady. She said, "Yeah, we're very proud of Dan."
Very nice.
I did say, "Yeah, Dan's a little weird sometimes," and
She agreed.
she agreed.
Oh, I guarantee that.
But I saw the family resemblance. It was like, "Yep, that's
Mrs.
Dan's
Dan.
mom."
Dan's mom.
So
Thanks,
I
Dan's
met
mom.
Dan's mom. How I
Oh,
met Dan's mom.
finally.
Dan's mom had great seats.
I met Odson's
Yeah.
brother
She did.
recently.
Yeah, she gets those off of her boyfriend, who wasn't at the game
Nice.
on Saturday.
Nice.
Look at him,
Yeah.
sweetening the pot.
Good. for
Come on,
her.
John. You remember that time you turned around before the national anthem, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sounds like something Dan
Those
would
are
do.
those seats.
That was those seats. I didn't even.
well, because
I didn't put two and two together.
my mom every time, because it used to be last year, it was a little bit shifted over,
Mhm.
so we were directly behind you.
Yes.
And every game we would go to, my mom would be like, "Just poke him and say hi. Just poke him and say hi." And I was like, "Mom, he's literally in the middle of a broadcast right now. Like, yeah, let me interrupt you in the middle of a 2-minute commercial break when you're obviously talking to Taylor."
So Dan's mom has wanted to meet John for a long time now.
Yes, she has.
Mm.
Big
well,
fan.
I'm glad. You know, I mean, you're in the business. You know when the breaks are. So yeah, no, I enjoy talking to the people. Mayor Mike sits right behind me.
Mayor Mike, what's he the mayor of?
Former mayor of our fair city.
Former mayor.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
the man
once
who
you're
helped
some-
us build our
Mike
ballpark.
Fahey?
Mike Fahey,
Mhm.
the man who's got a street named after him. He sits right
Don't
behind
people
me.
hate
Mike
that guy?
Fahey Street.
People hate.
No,
Mike.
he's a loved mayor.
Oh yeah, he's a loved mayor.
Oh, I thought people hated him.
The
Oh
only
no.
thing they did was they laughed a little bit at the idea of flying in the bleachers, you know, for the portable seats. Remember that?
Oh,
But that was it. Otherwise, he got stadium built.
Good for him.
Mike's a great guy. He's been on some of these road trips that we've gone on.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Real lot of fun. My wife loves him.
My wife.
I didn't have the heart to
my
tell her,
wife
hey,
loves Mike
hey,
Fahey.
you know Mayor Fahey's a Democrat, don't you?
Ha!
Whoa, but he's got a
Mayor-
street, John.
But he's got a street.
Got a street.
Oh yeah, Mike's great. But yeah, the people that sit around us. So yeah, if you're around,
Say hi, Dan. Poke him and say hi.
Well, unfortunately,
Don't
we've
use a
only
cattle
got
prod.
Are you poking me or are you just happy to see me?
we've only got like 2 games left, and I'm like 98% sure I'm working at DJ's for both of
Oh,
them.
isn't
So
it such a bummer that college basketball's almost over already?
Shut up, Josh. A lot of us love college basketball, and you need to get on
A lot
board.
of you are
You
idiots.
need to start saying that people don't live rent free in your head.
College basketball lives rent free in your head.
Oh,
Because I have to
it
talk
maybe does.
about it, not because I want it to be there.
it's always worth your time to talk about college basketball.
Is it?
Yeah.
Always?
Not always.
Yeah, not always.
I bet you'd rather talk about LaMelo Ball.
Sure, why not? Want to do a little LaMelo Ball on the show
Would
today?
you rather talk about LaMelo Ball than college basketball?
I have no takes on LaMelo Ball either.
Uh,
Remember, I don't watch the NBA anymore.
that's the name we don't speak about.
No, that's Lamar Ball.
Ah, you did it.
I forgot.
LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball. No,
You
I
need to
don't
put
know,
your
Corey.
entire life savings account into here.
I forgot about that. We stopped
we
talking
did.
about him.
Because if you
literally
say
stopped.
LeVar Ball, he might reappear.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was like when he was in the midst of being on
Every
every
day.
show,
Yeah.
every day.
That was terrible.
We got to a point where we're like, this is really stupid.
Yeah,
We
we're
need to
not
stop.
talking about him anymore. That is literally the first time that man's name has been mentioned in probably 5
That's
years.
true. I forgot about it.
He's
You
like
just
the
called him
Bloody
Lamar.
Mary.
His
You
name
do
is
it 3
LeVar.
times, he shows up in
That's
studio.
right.
Yeah.
We're Beetlejuice.
Crazy. All right. Well, Happy New Year.
That was great.
Sure. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. By the way, producer Josh's vomit living rent free in that trash can.
Ah!
No, it's gone now.
Well, now in the dumpster, I'm assuming.
In the dumpster.
It got
in the
shipped out.
trash bag, in the former trash bag.
You know what he should have done? Is he
Rent-free.
should have stuck it over in 1019, left it for Nick for Saturday or
Oh,
Sunday.
That would
Or
be
for Crash.
bad.
Met Crash walking in doing a show. Hey,
Chili dogs.
here talk about chili dogs. Chili dogs, who's fire? It don't smell like smell like chili dogs in here. What the hell?
What's up, Buttercup? What's going on here?
No, Crash, we did not put the vomit in your
No,
studio.
if somebody vomited in there, it wasn't us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was Mike Neville. We'll blame him.
Or Nick.
Or Nick.
It was
Even
Nick.
Nick.
All right, that's the crossover. We got a Wednesday program which includes some dumb debating on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
If Mahomes was a horse in the Kentucky Derby, do you think he would have got to run in the Derby the way he was limping?
One-way ticket to the glue factory for Patrick Mahomes.
Think about back. Well, here's the advantage that we humans have over horses. We can communicate our wants and intentions. Horses can't be like, look, I want to run through this pain.
I can go,
I
coach.
want to run. I have to do this. This is important to me.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Breezy and colder Wednesday with north winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour under mainly cloudy skies. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to upper 20s with wind chills in the teens. Chance for light snow goes up after 6 p.m. Expect more widespread snow overnight into early Thursday morning. 2 to 4 inches possible in the Omaha metro. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Listen to the Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows. The Creighton men's basketball pregame and postgame shows on 1620 The Zone. The Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows are also presented by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More, by Barry Law, by Union Bank and Trust, and by DJ's Dugout. Before and after each Creighton game, exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone, 1620 The Zone mobile app, and 1620thezone.com.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
From basketball to volleyball, baseball to softball, soccer, tennis, and so much more, the Creighton sports season is packed with action. The 1620 The Jays podcast, presented by Barry Law, covers it all. Each week, we visit with Blue Jay athletes and coaches to hear their stories and document their climb through the Big East Conference. The 1620 The Jays podcast drops each Friday morning and is found at 1620thezone.com and all major podcast platforms. Just search 1620 The Jays. covering all things Creighton Blue Jays. It's the 1620 The Jays podcast, presented by Barry Law from 1620 The Zone.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72. Be a part of the Host Coffee team today. If you'd like to work for a trusted and loyal family-owned company that understands the needs of working families, Host Coffee has your opportunity. Apply at hostcoffee.net.
Hey, y'all, this is your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at metamucil.com today.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball single game tickets are on sale now for the entire season. All home games are played at Maverick Park. The baseball team plays Creighton on March 7th and Nebraska on April 25th, and the softball team plays Nebraska on March 15th and Creighton on March 22nd. Season tickets for baseball and softball are also still available by calling 402-554-MAVS. Get your single game tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tics.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Simple, Shafe, and dumb debates. There you go.
That's a radio show.
That's a Wednesday. I haven't been here for a dumb debates for a couple of weeks. It'll be nice.
Yeah, and look, there's no snow. Yet.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
All I ask is snow holds off until 7:30 tonight.
What is the latest forecast? When time is it supposed to arrive?
The last chart I saw, there were
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Well, that's Omaha, so probably a little earlier.
Yeah, that's
you
what
might
I'm
run
saying.
into the very start of it.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I'm a little snowflake when it comes to driving on snowflakes. Mostly because I don't trust y'all. I had a situation happen today on the interstate.
What happened?
So I just get on the interstate in Lincoln.
Snowflake when it comes to snowflakes. Sounds funny.
And I'm in the, it's 3 lanes, so I'm in the far left passing lane.
Far left, as John always is.
As I always am.
Oh my God.
Going around a truck. And
Far right.
And this dude just comes flying up behind me. Had to be doing 90 because I'm doing 72 in a 65. I had my cruise set at 72.
Yep.
So I'm 7
I always go
over.
about 5 or so faster.
Yeah.
So we're the same.
So I'm
I like a 7
I'm
over.
already going as fast as I need to be
Scott
going
Frost.
and without pushing, way over to the extreme. And this dude just comes flying up to me. Had to be doing 90 miles an hour right on my tail. And that's when I decided, buddy, I am not going to move for you.
I got plenty of time, buddy.
I got plenty of time for you. and I got around the truck.
So you let that guy
and
hang on your ass.
And instead of moving over for him, I just stayed there and said, buddy, you're going that fast. You can just go ahead and go around. And he went around, he's honking, and I gave him the salute.
Oh, did you?
And then guess what? At the very next exit, he got off. So he didn't even need to be in that lane in the first place.
He was just trying to do it to prove a point. You were both the prove the point boys. I'm going to stand my ground. No, I'm going to stand my ground. And then finally you won. You won the staring contest.
But it's like, people, I'm already going 7 over. I'm not going to go up to 90 just so you can
I do feel
go
like
to 100.
I will say this, in defense of random guy, I view the middle lane for the 7 over. The far left lane, I feel like it's for like 15 to 20 over. I feel like that's the dangerous.
But they were
living
all
on the
busy.
wild side.
There was someone in the right lane.
You're fine then. You're fine.
The semi was in the middle lane.
Yeah.
And I was going 7 over in the left lane. In the city, which is why the speed limit was only 65. So whoever that jerk is, you have been served. You, or maybe I should say, I am living rent-free in your head.
Apparently Jack Mitchell hates the term rent-free, so that's pretty cool. Yep. So there you go. And that's driving in Nebraska. How are things in Nebraska?
How are things in Nebraska?
Pretty
Say,
good.
There was a tractor trailer across 275 the other day.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, not the other day.
Yeah.
That was
It's yesterday, the other day. Hashtag dumb debates.
That was a fun time coming back from Fremont yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got almost to where I needed to get, onto the highway. And I run up to a cop and he's like, "You're gonna have to go the other way." So I was like, "All right, cool." I'm going an hour out of my way to get onto the highway.
Oh.
Because someone had
crashed. Let's see, 2, 4, maybe 5 lanes of traffic.
Damn.
In their tractor trailer and ran completely off the road.
Yikes.
It was a real kick in the pants.
I know, he did have it.
That is world class.
It's so funny.
Coming up, I said Steve Sybil, Mike Shaver, dumb debates today. Please send us in your dumb debates into the Equitable Bank inbox, John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. At Equitable, we take banking personally. Answer the phone on the first ring. I would really like to post this, but
I would too.
We would get in trouble.
A lot of trouble.
That's your Roofery's lineup, powered by the Roofery's John Higgins Weather Guard. You can also send your dumb debates. Use the hashtag dumb debates. J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. I have a dumb debate we are going to revisit. It is sports related. It is coming up today.
LeBron or MJ?
It's one that we are completely on opposite ends of the spectrum. And I believe I have the soundest argument, and Josh will be living rent-free. No, I will be living rent-free in your head.
Got to be your head.
It's got to be your head.
Yeah, indeed. All right.
But I think we'll have a good conversation.
I'm very intrigued. We've had many debates over the years. I'm trying to figure out which one we argue about the most.
This one has had a song made up.
I was wondering if it was that very one. All right. All right. I'm looking forward to it.
So we'll have some fun with that. And whatever other dumb debates you have for us, please send them in.
Yep.
And even if we don't get to yours, it's a new year-ish. I mean, we're a month and a half in.
Happy New Year.
We're getting new ones all the time.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. So who's living rent-free in whose head?
Oh, boy.
Whose basketball team is doing what to whom?
Oh, boy. Well, one team won, one lost last night. I don't know. You hear about this?
Right, but one team played a really good team. The other team played a really bad team.
Oh, don't say that Providence is bad, John. Get it? I thought Rutgers was good. Are they not good? Are they not in the trust tree with the Nest?
They've lost 3 in a row now.
Are they not in the tournament anymore? What about the Matrix?
Remember, they're in the mediocre 10.
Oh, man. No, there they are. They're at 6 seed. They're in the same line as Creighton. They're both the same.
For now.
That's true. That's true. Providence an 8 seed, though. Nebraska beat a better team than Creighton lost to. So says Bracket Matrix.
That's like 2 days old.
1 day old. Yeah, so it probably doesn't have yesterday's results.
But hey, Nebraska's not even the worst loss for the Rutgers.
There you go. That's a positive.
So congratulations on that. So all of that and a whole lot more right here on 1620 The Zone. McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning wants to remind you, please get your furnace checked and inspected. Yeah, we're getting wintry weather this week, and it's still going to be furnace weather for the next month or two. And it doesn't take much. Older furnaces, the heat exchanger starts to wear. That allows dangerous carbon monoxide to leak into your home's air system. You do not want that. Please don't be a statistic. Get in touch with McCarthy's today at mccarthys1hour.com. Not only do they do the most thorough and knocking my microphone out. Not only do they do a great thorough inspection, but They will also, through the end of February, offer all folks who schedule a furnace inspection between now and the end of February half off a carbon monoxide detector. You should have one of these in your home. Very important to have to keep you from being a statistic. So take advantage of that offer. Take advantage of the experience and the folks who value your time, because at McCarthy's, they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's 1 hour heating and air conditioning, McCarthy's1hour.com.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Need a side hustle or career change? Now you can get certified to repair mobile devices in just 1 week. At the Metropolitan Community College Mobile Device Repair Academy, you can earn a national certification at our 1-week boot camp. Learn the skills you need to become certified and apply them during a 2-month internship. You may be eligible for special tuition funding. Classes start soon and space is limited. For more information or to enroll, visit mccneb.edu/mobile repair.
Join Genesis Health Clubs today for just $10 and save $20 per month every month with no contract. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs, here with the secret to healthy fitness habits. It's true that there are plenty of people who manage to stay consistent with exercise over lunch or after work, but the real secret is scheduling exercise into your daily routine. Pick a time, and that is your time to exercise. What is more important than your health? Nothing. So what time are you working out tomorrow? I'm inviting you to give it a try by joining Genesis Health Clubs for just $10 and save $20 a month, all with no contract. Whether your exercise is at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., schedule your exercise because it's the most important part of your schedule. And now life's little interruptions won't stand in your way. My dad always told us, don't put something off till tomorrow that you can do today. Make today your day for better health. Come into any Genesis location or go online and get started for just $10 and save $20 per month with no contract. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com to get started today.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every human civilization has made meatballs. It's something primal yet very elegant. Same goes for the Blackstone meatball, where you can build your own bowl of elegance. Pick your protein, choose your sauce and side, add a super salad, a tasty adult beverage, and wonderfulness. Vegan and gluten-free options available too. The Blackstone meatball, with 2 awesome locations in the Blackstone district at 39th and Harney, and out west on Chicago Street at 180th and West Dodge, and at theblackstonemeatball.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The
Zone. Connor Haffer has... We have, with our StreamYard technology, which is our studio that we use to video stream the show, they now have the ability to ISO each of our cameras. Connor has gotten the ISO video of producer Josh. And again, it's not graphic because, again, all you see is his butt when he disappears mostly off of camera to go to the trash can. But just the way that he goes to the headphones, he's like, should I? And then he finally takes them off and gets up. It's like, everyone has been there.
Yep.
Everybody has been there. Yep. But to actually see it happening is it brings it all together.
Yeah, it really does. I'll be tweeting it out. We can turn it into a meme and go from there. Man, so funny. So funny. Forrest, who has been begging us to debate this for days now, and we'll have Sipple on in a sec, so we have to go to break. Forrest is hoping for quarterback controversy talk today. Will CT11, that's Casey Thompson, get a fair evaluation? Prayer emoji.
Wow. A fair evaluation.
See, and as always with Forrest, who sometimes goes by other names in the YouTube comment section, there's like a world of Husker fandom and Twitter that I don't veer into, and he does. So I think this is the new hot topic. The hot goss is
among the message board Illuminati.
Not the message board. This is like the dark web of Husker fandom, I would say. I think they probably have.
God, I thought the message board Illuminati was pretty dark, but this is darker.
That's easy to find. You just go to the message board. It exists in its own little ether. This must be the new topic for them, is that Casey Thompson is being disrespected. I don't know why. I don't know how this has started.
How can he be disrespected? I mean, they haven't.
Matt Rule gives longer answers about, Jeff Sims. I assume that's where some of it's coming from.
Once?
Well, it's happened a couple times.
I'll be honest with you. I was the first one to say it. I think people read too much into that. Of course, he's going to say more about Jeff Sims. He knows more about him because of the previous connection. He didn't know anything about Casey Thompson. Be like if Josh, if you were given a press conference and someone asked you about Micah Parsons, you went on for 2 minutes, and then someone asked you about Dale Earnhardt, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he's fine."
Yeah,
and then be, people. Of course, he's going to know more about Jeff Sims. We talked about. That's why I thought it's overrated.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think it is overrated. I think that Jeff Sims is going to be the starter next year. So, yeah. There you go. Forrest, I hope that scratches your itch, because now we're done talking about the quarterbacks, I guess. Well, yeah, Sipple. See what Sipple thinks. Is there a controversy? Are we missing something? Is something going on?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe we are.
I want to ask him, because he's the guy. A lot of people around here the last couple of years, not so much this year. Maybe the message board Illuminati have gotten to him. But
Sipple?
when he was at the newspaper, he was the one who was like, "Well, how come they're not putting Fred under the same microscope as Scott?" He was the one that was doing that.
Yeah.
I want to know,
because no one cares about basketball. That was the answer, but no one.
Right.
No one wanted to say it out loud.
But because Sip wants consistency. I'm curious what Sip's going to expect from Fred next year.
Oh, good question.
Because, friends, I'm declaring it right now.
A rebuild?
No. Oh. Well, that's on a T-shirt. Nebraska ball rebuilding since 1907. We're no longer needing or wanting to entertain. Will he be back next year? He's back next year.
Oh, he's back, folks. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's not a news story. I mean, Trev hasn't officially said it, but Fred ain't going nowhere unless Fred wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Fred's back next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there should be any question that he should be back next year.
Wow.
They've done enough.
John Bishop's okay with 6-10 Nebraska ball.
It's not okay with 6-10
mission
Nebraska ball.
Accomplished.
It's not mission accomplished, but
no, he's back.
He's done enough.
Sure.
He's done enough.
You're right there, Dan.
And
Fred Hoiberg's coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
He just beat Wisconsin.
And the Rutgers.
Can't forget about the Rutgers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's back next year because, listen, and I explained this to Jack Mitchell earlier today on his show. Yeah, if you were looking at Nebraska ball through the same lens as a North Carolina fan might look at North Carolina, or a Duke fan would look at Duke, or heck, even a Michigan fan would look at Michigan, you would say, sorry, this isn't good enough. But Nebraska doesn't have those standards at the current time.
Mm-hmm.
And they've shown the progress. He has shown the ability to change. They seem to be getting better playing through adversity.
Yeah.
Two key guys.
No, dude, we thought they were going to fall apart.
Exactly.
A couple weeks ago, we were like, maybe they'll win one game the rest of the year.
Right. Now they've won two
in a row.
Two what would be concerned. I mean, if they were in the consideration for the NCAA tournament, these would be two very good quality wins.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, there's not enough has been done. And so it's not going to matter from that standpoint, but that's immaterial at this point. And because of that, checked all the boxes. Absolutely. Earned another year. And this is why it's important when your athletic director comes to you and says, hey, we need to make some changes because you're just not performing well
and you
enough.
actually listen?
And you actually listen and
Instead
you're
of
like
throwing
amenable
a
to it.
pity party?
Bingo.
Instead of puking in the trash can?
I don't
For other reasons.
For other reasons. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we don't need to entertain that question anymore because it's a done deal.
By the way, right before Sipple, Patrick Mahomes, he was speaking earlier, parade, Chiefs won Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah.
Did he puke too?
He said, I got to be honest, I don't know what rebuilding means. In our rebuilding year, we are world champs. Many people wanting to define the word rebuild, it seems, over the last few weeks. Is it the hot word of the week? Rebuild.
I think the word rebuild is living rent-free in Patrick Mahomes' head.
It's living rent-free in his wife's head, too. You see that tweet about, I think everyone needs to apologize to the Chiefs. Tell me, Brittany, who needs to apologize to the Chiefs? Who thought that they didn't have a chance this season?
John.
This is
John picked him to lose to Cincinnati.
I think she just needs to start writing letters like an old-timey widow and like sending them to ESPN.
I think she's going to be like the new because didn't
Aisha?
Steph Curry's wife, she was kind of annoying.
She said the NBA was rigged when they lost to the Cavs.
Right.
Yeah.
Brittany Mahomes is going to be the new she's like the heel wife.
Yeah, that's why I just don't read any of her tweets or his brother's tweet. I stay away from that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Don't talk about people's families. That's what I do.
There you go.
Don't talk about their families.
That's right. We'll talk about Steve Sipple. Well, actually, we'll talk to Steve Sipple.
Yeah.
Maybe about Steve Sipple next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
Let me get you up to speed on the service that you need.
At Omaha Transmission, we don't have a warehouse full of transmissions waiting to be sold. We will diagnose and then repair or remanufacture your transmission. It's how we've always done it and how we'll always do it. Treating people the way that we want to be treated is how we do business at Omaha Transmission.
Omaha Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
Hey, it's Nick Hanley for Woodhouse Mazda. The 2023 Mazda CX-50 is the latest addition to the Mazda CUV lineup, and it's a beauty. The ultimate crossover to get the most out of the outdoors with new designs that will make every adventure comfortable and ready for any road condition. Test drive a Mazda CX-50 today at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or in Millard, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers. You can shop, finance, and buy online at WoodhouseMazda.com or WoodhousePlaceMazda.com and enjoy a friendly and knowledgeable sales staff. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Do you know a high school senior who'd like a $12,000 college scholarship? Well, be sure to tell them that the Salvation Army is now seeking nominations for the DJ's Hero Award scholarships. We're looking for Nebraska high school seniors who have overcome adversity and who are doing the most good in their communities. The application deadline is March 8th. Nominate your hero today. Just go to djsheroapp.org for more information. That's djsheroapp.org. djsheroapp.org.
Your 15th ranked Omaha Maverick hockey team is second in the NCHC, and because of you, they're top 5 in attendance nationally with their first sellout since 2017. Get your tickets now for the final home series and senior weekend against number 6 St. Cloud on February 24th and 25th. Rock the Baxter and help the Mavs secure home ice for the NCHC playoffs. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tickets.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Sipple the snowflake is one old triggered soul with reading glasses sitting on his nose and takes that really blow. Sipple the snowflake deserves a mouthpiece to the face. He says LeBron's the GOAT and Steph will choke. Then he runs to his safe space. Hey, we gotta be careful here. He tells us when we speak, but when 10 games air in a day, he thinks that's too many.
Oh!
Sipple the snowflake says words like mature. He's a blogger now and an honor too, and also really old.
Did you see that Raquel Welch passed away today?
Whoa.
Yes. 82.
Oh.
Just crossed the wires here in the last hour. Some people will remember her as the last poster of Andy Dufresne. Hey there, Miss Fuzzy Britches.
What say you, Fuzzy Britches?
Yeah, because she had the picture and she had the fuzzy britches.
Uh-huh. What do you think about when you think of Raquel Welch Sip?
Puberty, I think.
He ain't wrong, folks.
Yeah.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah. Classic.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think about it, Sip. When we were youngs, that she was like in her 40s.
Yeah. When we were young. Yeah, that's not. I don't know. I don't remember much else than that sort of that element. What I just said is very vague.
It is,
probably inappropriate on a day like this.
Hey, I saw in one of the headlines it was sex symbol. You know, that was like the third thing they mentioned. So I think a lot of people think of puberty.
Yeah. I can be baked with the best of them.
Yeah, indeed.
We all can.
R.I.P. Raquel Welch.
We all can, Steve.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this in the last segment, and you mentioned it in the column. In fact, I said it last week, but now we've made the bold declaration.
He's back.
Fred's back. We don't need to be talking about next year.
Yep, no debates.
We know who the coach is going to be next year. So my question for you is this, because you have been among the more consistent. You openly wondered aloud within the last few years why Fred wasn't held to a similar scrutiny as Scott Frost when it comes to record and things like that. What should the expectations be then next year?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Similar, and I think trending toward getting the 10 and 10 in the Big Ten. I always think of it as this mainly a Big Ten discussion because that there's no variable there. I mean, it's the same team. Schedule changes slightly, teams change, etc. But I'd like to see next year 10-10, something like that. A bubble team for sure. And you know what? The one sort of misnomer about the conversation, I think it was a misnomer. I felt like early in the season, I think people have come around on it, have a greater understanding. There are pieces back. There's key pieces back next year if they come back. I mean, in this day and age, you don't know for sure, but you're getting Tominaga back. You can get Tominaga back. That's gigantic. You could get Welcher back. You should get Juwan Gary back. Blaze Keita's back. There are like Lawrence is back. Then Denim Dawson's back. So you got some guys. So I don't know. I think Fred certainly has earned it now. I mean, he's earned it, I'd say. And I do think it's going to get really interesting now. I really like him against Maryland. I liked them last night. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Even when they were losing, I didn't feel like it was getting out of control. Like when they lost big at Michigan, they caught Michigan on a hot night, and Michigan, dominated the first half and sort of, Nebraska got back into it in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland, even when Nebraska lost by 19 at Maryland, it didn't feel like a terrible loss to me. It hasn't felt like that. And then in the last 4 games, of course, the conversation's changed dramatically because of Tominaga.
Yeah.
20 plus points in the last 4 games. And now, if you look at Nebraska through the eyes of an opposing coach, they're a problem because of Tominaga. Not just because of Tominaga, but he's changed the conversation.
I guess you kind of just ran through reasons why this has happened, but I kind of want to ask again, like, how has this happened? Because, like, I remember within the last couple of weeks, you've been a bit more bullish on their prospects of winning than I know certainly more than I have been, and I would say more than most people have, and you've been proven to be right so far. Like, I guess, what did you see that so many of us missed 2 weeks ago?
Well, I mean, it's not like Tominaga was doing a lot until the last 4 games, but he was doing enough that intrigued me. Walker has been steady. Now, he's been turnover prone, but that's been the only part of his game that kind of made you wonder. They always kept playing. Sam Griesel's been steady, and he's tough. I figure Wiltshire had to break out at some point because he's got such a good-looking shot. He's got a good stroke. He's good fundamentally. The ball wasn't falling. But you see what he looks like when he's shooting well. He's a beautiful shooter. They just continued playing. Fred's got a very steady hand. And I don't know, now, again, with Tominaga being this sort of real entity, not just a cute story.
Yeah.
He's tough. And here's the thing about it. Fred does a good job of designing plays. That part has not gone away. They still play pretty good defense without Gary and Bandamel. It's not like when they had Gary and Bandamel, but they still play pretty good defense. And now with Tominaga going, it's a situation for opponents because Fred is so good about designing that offense to get him the ball. It's not like he gets the ball and he's wide open. That's not going to happen, by the way. Now that's not going to happen very often. But it's just a very well designed offense, and it's not just about Tominaga either because they got downhill Derek going still. And Griesel, as you saw late in the game last night, can still get your key baskets.
Sip, switching gears to football, obviously there's a lot of talk about how big the roster eventually is going to be. Maybe it doesn't all happen in one season, but over time, how big is an optimal roster, do you think, for Nebraska football when we get to that point?
I've always been I like Riley roster size was good. I think he was upper 120s, like 125. I think in this day and age is probably sufficient. Frost Frost, I think his biggest roster was 156, which is fine too. I don't listen. Now, this is one of those, I call them Nebraska conversations.
Yes.
I don't attach a lot of meaning to any of it. It's a roster size. People politicize it. The agenda people come out. I just don't get into it. I'll just answer it very honestly, John. I don't give a damn whether it's 125 or 175. It just doesn't mean that much to me.
Do you think?
Sorry.
No. Look, that's totally fine. Do you agree though that? I guess let me ask you: do you think that Scott Frost felt like he had to have as many walk-ons as he did to
uphold an image?
Yeah.
Again, that's
because, like, I've heard so many stories about, like, you had 30 guys at practice just kind of standing around doing nothing. And so it's like, okay, so what's the purpose of having those 30 guys then, other than, upholding that image of having rosters the sizes of Tom Osborne's back in the day?
I don't know. I don't like to do that where I sort of make these accusatory statements without getting the other side of it. I'm sure there would be a pretty good other side to that conversation. So I don't like to do that.
Okay.
So I don't know. I hear all the stuff you hear. Kind of comes down to camps and agendas. And I guess it makes for okay off-season conversation.
Switching gears, there's been an increase in chatter over the last couple of weeks about Dylan Raiola in Nebraska. I feel like we ask you about him every week, or every time we talk to you now. What do you most attribute though to the increase in that opinion? I guess I have been in the boat for a while that I do think that Dylan is going to commit and sign with Nebraska, but it seems like other people have really started feeling that way as well. Why do you think that that's the case?
Very fascinating human conversation because I can't read his mind. I don't. Maybe you can. I talked to Dominic on Monday, and here's another thing about the world. I can tell you that Dominic Raiola told me that the recruitment is wide open.
Okay.
But if you have in your mind cooked up that he's a silent commit, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say that would change your mind. All I can go on is that Dominic Raiola said it's wide open. Now I guess what you would say is I don't believe Dominic. I don't know. I believe him. I don't know. I can't read Dylan's mind. We're just going to keep doing this till he commits.
Sure.
If we're going to say, well, I think he's going to commit to Nebraska. I can't say you're wrong. You can go on the radio and say, I think he's silently committed, and nobody's going to be able to. If Dylan Raiola himself told you he wasn't silently committed, some people wouldn't believe it. So there's not much you can do in the conversation. I do listen to Dominic. I trust Dominic. I talked to him for a long time on Monday night, and he said it's wide open. He said he wouldn't be surprised if some teams jump in there, become factors that haven't. He mentioned Penn State. He mentioned some others. I still believe that you're looking at Nebraska and Georgia and USC. Those are the front runners. But again, Dominic said that he wouldn't. He said I wouldn't be. The thing he emphasized. He said you can say this. He said you can say this publicly, that it's wide open, and that he wouldn't be surprised if some others would jump in there as factors that haven't been mentioned. Like he was very enthusiastic about a Zoom session they had with Prime. I'm not saying that Colorado's a major factor, but those kinds of things are happening, and they really enjoy it. They do enjoy it, and they love college football. They're sort of, I think Dominic's kind of taken aback by recruits who say, "Oh, it's so laborious," this process. They love it. This is, they get daily conversation or whatever communication with Kirby Smart, with Lincoln Riley. It's fun. So yeah, I think when he says it's wide open, it's wide open.
If I haven't had a chance to speak with you as much because I've been gone on a lot of Wednesdays. So if we're covering maybe some ground you might have covered earlier, just let me know. But I am fascinated thinking back to the Brian Ferentz story and the goofy contract and all of that. But a serious question though. if you're an Iowa fan, or put yourself in the role, let's say it's Stephen M. Sipple of HawkeyeOnline.com.
Scott Docterman.
Yeah.
A doctor, yes.
I like him.
Should you, if you're an Iowa person, should you be proud that all you do is seem to attain winning seasons and you occasionally get that breakthrough division title? Or should you be upset that it doesn't seem like you're interested in raising the bar any further?
Well, now, again, aren't they interested in raising the bar further?
I don't think they are. By literally doing what they do, Kirk Ferentz and the Ferentz family and Gary Barta have basically said, hey, this is the bed we have made at Iowa. We are very comfortable in it. And our bet is we're going to win at least 7 games. Maybe occasionally we'll win 10. We'll win a division title every 5 years. We're cool with that.
Yeah, I know. That's a fair. It's a fair question. I don't know. It's hard for me to be overly critical of them. I mean, what you're talking about is since 2017, Brian Ferentz has been the play caller. Okay, since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And you nailed it. I mean, in that period, they've won at least 8 games every year, except the COVID year when they only played 8 and they were 6-2 and won their final 6.
Yep.
There's a part of that says Barta and Kirk Ferentz they can kind of give you the double bird. Say, what have you done? Tell me what you've done. Because we've won at least 8 and we twice won 10. The part that gets it's fascinating is they've done it with a bad offense. It hasn't even been okay.
It's been horrible.
In that period, its total offense average nationally is 107. Never been better than 87, maybe 86. So they've done it almost. They've almost said we don't even care if we have a good offense. So yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel if I was an Iowa fan. They attach these very, very sort of soft parameters to Brian, what he has to do to be back. I don't know. I guess I'll quit rambling and just finish it this way. It does feel very much like Kirk is a king.
Yep.
He runs that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Barta. It's Kirk. He's king. He's enormously wealthy and powerful. And I'm just going to do what I want, including keep my son. So what are you going to do?
Yep.
Storm the castle? I mean, I'm your guy, and I'm going to be the guy. And you know what? Take it or leave it. It feels like that to me.
It absolutely does.
I think you nailed it. I've thought a lot over the last couple of weeks since this came out about like the 2009 Nebraska team and how, like, I guess you can view that season from one of 2 spots, in my opinion. One is that might be the best defense we've ever seen at Nebraska, one of the best individual performances in a season by a defensive player or a player in Ndamukong Suh, et cetera. Or you could say, man, but what if the offense would have been average? And
average.
That's what I always think about with Iowa. It's like I feel like they're wasting, these incredible defenses because they've won the division a few times, but they have no other hardware to show for it.
That's why I think.
Well, now
go ahead, Sim.
The other part of it, though, I got to interrupt because there's another part of it, and it's just one of these. This is why you guys have a show, and I have a show. And we talk all year long about this stuff because football's complex. And they like Brian Ferentz could legitimately say to you, you know what? We were playing Sam Porta receiver because we were down to, I think they're down 3 scholarship receivers because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that I think Kirk would say that privately for sure. Look, we just didn't have a guy. It's not a play calling issue. We were down at receiver, and what they might not say, but they could. I mean, they should. Is their offensive line is substandard.
It stinks.
I mean, it was not. It was definitely substandard by Iowa standards, but it wasn't very good by any standard. So, and then they had a bad quarterback. So there's a lot that goes into these conversations other than just, hey, we had a bad play caller, and we have a bad offense. It's not well designed. In fact, they weren't even running their offense late in the season. They were basically running an offense that was hey, let's just do whatever we possibly can to get yards. It wasn't their traditional zone left, zone right play action. They had to diverge because they couldn't get anything going.
Stephen M. Sipple, that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sip, thank you. Have a great rest of your week.
Stay safe in the snow.
Yeah, make sure you have your snowblower primed and ready to go. I haven't had to use mine yet, but I'll get it in position in the garage tonight because Josh promised it wouldn't snow anymore. Now it's going to snow.
How much you getting in Omaha?
I don't know.
They say like it could be 2 inches or it could be 10. So
get ready for an inch.
That's what he said.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye, Sip.
Bye, Sipple.
I think this is why, and I've been consistent. I think going away from divisions is going to be bad for Nebraska, but I think it could create the potential for an existential crisis in Iowa.
Absolutely.
Because and I think it's bad for Nebraska because, I just where Nebraska is currently.
Yeah.
They need that benchmark to go for. And when you lose that benchmark artificially because of how they're going to rearrange things or how we assume they're going to rearrange things, you're going to lose that benchmark. And for Iowa, that's been a benchmark that they have attained, and it seems very clear to me that is their thing. Yes, they say, hey, we want to win a conference championship, and it's true. You win the division, put you one step away from the conference. I get all that, but there is nothing that I see in the words, in the actions, in the DNA of Hawkeye football that tells me that they aspire to something more.
Yep. It's almost like they take pride in winning with this offense being so bad.
Yes.
Like they love it.
And now you're going to potentially lose that benchmark that you can at least point back to and say, but we won the division.
Mm-hmm. I think that you were spot on. We talked about it a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago because you were gone when the news came down about Brian. And when you look at this conference and how attainable this division has been for every school in it. I mean, I feel like really every program should be kicking themselves if they're in the Big Ten West for not having more success. The fact that Northwestern has won 2 division championships, and others have won 0, including Nebraska, has to be so frustrating. And so you have that thing that's going to leave. The other thing, John, too, is that Iowa very rarely has had to play Ohio State and Michigan in the same season. They did this last year. We saw how far away they were. They lost both games by double digits. Ohio State kicked the crap out of them in Columbus. And now, I'm not going to say they're going to play those 2 schools every year, but they're going to play equivalent schools like that twice every year now. They will play some hodgepodge of USC, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State every single year, along with their locked-in opponents. They are going to have a lot less success. And they're making their bed right now, and then they're going to have to sleep in it.
402-951-1620. More on the basketball from last night and still to come, Mike Schaefer, Dumb Debates. And you, again, 402-951-1620. You can also text us at that number as well at 1620thezone.com. See ya. Back in a minute.
The Connor Happer Show.
By the way, guys, corn dogs, not a thing. I love corn dogs. You dip them in mustard. You eat one at the fair. Corn dogs are a delicious food. But I'm talking about corn, DAWGS, the intersection of Nebraska and Georgia football players. We're not calling those guys corn dogs. We're not doing it. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
The Connor Happer Show, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Winter storm warnings are in effect for the Omaha Metro. Light to moderate snow possible for this evening around 6 o'clock and throughout the overnight. Light snowfall should be tapering off around daybreak Thursday. By then, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible for the Omaha Metro. Higher amounts down to the south. By the afternoon for your Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high temperature of 29. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KTV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Let me get you up to speed on the surf
service that you need.
Is your car making a howling, growling, or crunching noise? It could be related to the drivetrain, which consists of your transmission, your transfer case, and differentials. Omaha Transmission is specialized in diagnosing and repairing all those components. Don't diagnose it yourself. Take out the guesswork and have us tell you for sure.
Transmission, shifting to running smooth.
This is a sale so big that Standard Heating and Air can only do it once a year. Right now, and for a very limited time, buy a Carrier air conditioner from Standard Heating and Air and get a free furnace. Carrier, turn to the experts. On qualifying equipment, for details, call or click.
Omaha Sports Academy is celebrating 15 years of youth basketball in the Metro, and spring and summer programming is coming. Omaha Sports Academy will help your athlete reach their maximum potential and take their game to the next level with focus on cutting-edge trends and high-level skill development. OSA athletes have fun learning the game the right way in top-notch facilities with OSA professional staff. Get all the details at omahasportsacademy.com. OSA Crusaders, earn your right.
Shop Sid Dillon Chevrolet, where we sell more Chevys than anyone in Nebraska. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo, or at SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
You can find pizza anywhere. But when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings, that's when you come to my place, Godfather's Pizza. For a limited time, get your hands on 2 of my large one-topping pizzas. Pick pepperoni, beef, black olives, you choose. All this food for only $29. Feed your whole mob without breaking the bank. Hey, it's an offer you can't refuse. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
If you love attending live events, whether it's a big-time sporting event or seeing your favorite artist in concert, then you need to check out my friends at Tickets for Less and their app. It's absolutely free. It brings all of your favorite things about ticketsforless.com straight to your fingertips in one convenient location. Plus, all new users get a special discount code sent directly to your phone just for downloading the app and signing up. So simply search Tickets for Less in your app store, download the free app, and sign up for your discount. It's really that easy. Ticketsforless.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. Well, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or just go to eBay Motors and get it right the first time. When you see the green check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride.
NRG Media in Omaha is looking for a sales assistant. This person will assist our sales team that sells radio advertising and digital marketing campaigns for our 7 radio stations. Work in a creative, fun, and fast-paced environment as you keep things organized. Collaborate with our account executives and on-air talent. Learn and grow. Interested in learning more? Go to the careers page at nrgmedia.com and look for the Omaha sales assistant position. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
I mean, they pounded.
The 1620, The Zone.
Double freaking overtime. Did you know that this is going back, another great Rob Anderson nugget, to 1986. Creighton has played in 14 double overtime games. They've won 12 of them. Last night was only the second double OT loss. The only other double OT loss also happened on Valentine's Day.
Oh, really?
Against Drake in 2004.
Wow.
So it's like, do not play either do not play on Valentine's Day or definitely don't go to double overtime
Wow.
on Valentine's Day. But
what a stat.
That was it's strange. It's funny because if you remember all the way back 1 month ago, the last loss prior to last night was the 90-87 loss at Xavier, which was very similar to last night's game in that the offenses were working very efficiently.
Yes, they were.
Neither team could get distance from the other. The biggest lead in that Cincinnati game, or the Xavier game in Cincinnati, was 7 points. That was it. It was the biggest lead. Now, the one last night had an insane amount of lead changes and ties. In fact, here's some more Rob Anderson nuggets. There was a stretch of 42 minutes and 41 seconds of game action. So more than a regulation game. 42 minutes and 41 seconds of game clock action where neither Providence nor Creighton led by more than 4 points.
I mean, that's the dream, right? That's a dream. Well,
That
not if your team's loses a game.
That has to be some kind of record.
That's like what you want. That's exactly what you want in a basketball game. I mean, we talk about back and forth a lot, but I mean, especially now with the three-point shot becoming as prevalent as it has in the last decade or so in college basketball and the NBA. I mean, you'll see a few games where they'll squirt out to 5, 6, 7 points, and then they're still close. They still feel like a close game. But to be within 4 points, 2 possessions the entire time.
For 42, almost 43 straight minutes.
Yeah, ridiculous. Thing I keep coming back to with last night, you know, I rewatched some of the highlights this morning, and the possession at the end of regulation for Creighton, and then the possession at the end of the first overtime, you know, where they have the ball and they have a chance. And I don't know if I want to describe them as good looks, but they weren't bad looks. You know, you would have, I guess, hoped for more. I thought the one at the end of regulation, I thought that pass was going to lead to a little lay-in and it was going to be over.
Well,
I thought that they were going to win that.
And listen, they surprised Creighton with the trap at half court, which forced Trey Alexander to get it out of his hand because they wanted it in Trey's hands. Now, if you go back and watch the video, it looks like Carter literally grabs Trey around the waist and is trying to fling him into the backcourt. But that's neither here nor there because we can't complain about the officials. But it was a great strategy. It was a great idea because it forced the ball out of their hands.
Yeah.
But yet it still almost led to what would have been an amazing alley-oop to win the game. And it was just inches away from maybe going in. And then in the last possession of the first overtime, they tried to get the ball into Ryan Nemhard's hands. Nemhard had 2 points in the first 32 minutes of the game and ended up with 21.
Yeah.
I mean, he single-handedly in that run at the end of regulation, single-handedly pulled Creighton even, got them ahead briefly.
The up and under
the up and under with falling to the ground with the reverse.
Yeah, that was great.
And, but they tried to get the ball in Nemhard's hands. Great block from it wasn't Carter. It was oh my God. I'm already drawing blanks on people's names from last night.
It was a long night.
It was a long night.
You dump you do the prep, you dump all the prep, you move
I
on
do. My brain doesn't work very well anymore when it comes to remembering things. But it was again twice in a row. Bryce Hopkins. They switched Hopkins over on to Nemhard. He got the block at the end of the first overtime. Otherwise, Nemhard could have been the hero there. But yet, I mean, you had 2 chances. And then, and I know, and we talked to Mac, we talked to R2 after the game last night on the post-game show, and neither one would say that they ran out of gas. But, and maybe it is too simplistic a way to describe it, but in a game where Creighton was north of 50% shooting, and in the second half for a long time, they were north of 60% shooting, they go 0 for 7 in the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like maybe they ran out of gas.
Well, I think so. I mean, especially when you look at what happened in the second overtime. And that was kind of how Joel Lorenzi, that was how he led his gamer story that went up, on Omaha.com and the World Herald today, where it was just that. It was, I thought that, you could see it leaving a little bit at the end of the game, into overtime. But the second overtime, I think that it was just all there. It was just all there that they didn't have it anymore.
But it was a tremendous basketball game. And I mean, you can't hang your head. Think about it. At the end of the Xavier game back in January, Creighton had a possession down 2 with less than 30 seconds left. So a chance to tie or maybe take the lead, possibly win the game. Last night, had 2 chances in regulation.
With it tied.
I mean, you're that close from having a 10-game win streak.
Yeah.
And basically icing the rest of the Big East. Now, as it stands, even though it was a loss, Creighton still is in the race. They haven't been eliminated from anything. What they lost last night really was a chance to truly control their own destiny.
I was going to say tiebreakers and controlling a destiny is now what's out the window.
But
with who is in front of them and when they have played them, because they're already the first two teams in front of them, they're done playing. Xavier and Providence, they're done with those teams. And then, of course, Marquette.
But later in the program, we'll run through some scenarios because tonight, Xavier and Marquette play each other for first place. And I'm not sure if you're a Jays fan who you should be rooting for.
Oh.
We'll try to run through some scenarios and figure out who we should be rooting for tonight.
Okay.
But that'll be a big one tonight between Marquette and Xavier. But great game. No shame in losing a game like that at all. And Jays will be back in action this Saturday night at St. John's in New York.
Another road game.
Another road game.
And what, 4 games left now? 5 games? 4 games?
Yeah,
5 games left?
5 games left.
What do they play? 11
St. John's and then Marquette
they're 11
next
and 4.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then Villanova a week from Saturday. Georgetown final home
then at
game.
DePaul.
And then
That's
at DePaul.
That's who I forgot.
So 5 games to go. Matt DeMarinis tweeted something out. And granted, this was before UConn joined the league. That's why there's fewer games. But back in 2020, when Creighton ended up winning the conference, the standings with 7 games to go in 2020, Seton Hall was 10-1. Creighton, Villanova, and Marquette each were 7-4. Tonight, as of tonight, 5 games to go. Marquette 12-3, Xavier 11-3, Providence 11-4, Creighton 11-4.
Crazy.
An amazing race.
Yeah.
Pardon the puns.
Yeah, for the show. Yeah, we talked about it.
I watched that the first year. It was a good show.
I watched season 2 or 3. I loved it, and I just never got back into it again.
It was like Survivor. It's like, you've seen it.
You've seen it once. You've seen it a million times. Yeah, we ran through all the scenarios. Not so much the scenarios we're going to go through in a moment, but just who teams were playing and where you wanted to hold serve. And yeah, that's why last night hurts the most, is because it just right now they'd be sitting, in a tie for first. No, they wouldn't have the tiebreaker, but they'd be sitting in a tie for first if they would have won last night. And yeah, as you mentioned, controlling the destiny is now out the window.
Coming up, Mike Schaefer is going to join us. And we also have dumb debates. Send in your dumb debates, JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620 or into the Equitable Bank inbox, John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. We are going to debate something we have debated before. We have completely different viewpoints. I think I have the argument that will shift the tide.
Okay.
That'll be coming up in dumb debates during the happy hour today on 1620 The Zone. You can experience the Woodhouse difference and shop with confidence at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley. John Bishop here to tell you that the Chevy Silverado 1500 has the strength to take on what's next. Multi-flex tailgate, 6 different functions with the multi-flex tailgate, plus things to make it easier to drive and haul whatever it is you need, like Super Cruise Drive Assist technology and advanced trailering system. Plus, the Chevy Silverado comes with 9 unique trims, so you can customize your Silverado to suit your needs. And right now, if you shop Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, get 2.99% APR financing on a 2022 Chevy Silverado with approved credit. But you need to act now because this offer expires on February 28th. See Woodhouse Chevy's entire line of Silverados, GM.com. You can also, while you're there, value your trade, fill out the credit app, and chat with their knowledgeable, friendly staff. Whether it's in person or online, Woodhouse Chevy, just off I-29, exit 75 in Missouri Valley, or woodhousegm.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
From basketball to volleyball, baseball to softball, soccer, tennis, and so much more, the Creighton sports season is packed with action. The 1620 The Jays podcast, presented by Barry Law, covers it all. Each week, we visit with Blue Jay athletes and coaches to hear their stories and document their climb through the Big East Conference. The 1620 The Jays podcast drops each Friday morning and is found at 1620thezone.com and all major podcast platforms. Just search 1620 The Jays. covering all things Creighton Blue Jays. It's the 1620 The Jays podcast, presented by Barry Law from 1620 The Zone.
Join Genesis Health Clubs today for just $10 and save $20 per month every month with no contract. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs, here with the secret to healthy fitness habits. It's true that there are plenty of people who manage to stay consistent with exercise over lunch or after work, but the real secret is scheduling exercise into your daily routine. Pick a time, and that is your time to exercise. What is more important than your health? Nothing. So what time are you working out tomorrow? I'm inviting you to give it a try by joining Genesis Health Clubs for just $10 and save $20 a month, all with no contract. Whether your exercise is at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., schedule your exercise because it's the most important part of your schedule. And now life's little interruptions won't stand in your way. My dad always told us, don't put something off till tomorrow that you can do today. Make today your day for better health. Come into any Genesis location or go online and get started for just $10 and save $20 per month with no contract. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com to get started today.
Listen to the Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows. The Creighton men's basketball pregame and postgame shows on 1620 The Zone. The Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows are also presented by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More, by Barry Law, by Union Bank and Trust, and by DJ's Dugout. Before and after each Creighton game, exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone, 1620 The Zone mobile app, and 1620thezone.com.
Does eating at home have you singing the blues? Stop by Cobb's at the Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, or 72nd and Jones to grab a delicious pizza, burgers, fresh salad, and some tasty charred wings. They even offer keto crusts and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cobb's, now with 3 convenient locations to serve you. Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and 72nd and Jones. Click cobbspizza.com to see the menu, pizza, and so much more.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
You know, there's a commercial, the State Farm commercials with Patrick Mahomes.
Whopper.
No. State Farm.
Oh, okay.
They sell insurance, not Whoppers. The Patrick Mahomes, they never wash his practice jersey, and the little girl faints.
I don't know if I've seen this one.
Oh, you've seen it.
Okay.
Again, you do a nice job of trying to ignore it, but it's on every football broadcast.
Okay.
It's hard to ignore. But Chad Henne, Chiefs backup, who is retiring, by the way, he's played his last game, said during an interview with ESPN's Shefty Schefter that Mahomes wears the same pair of red underwear for every game. His superstition.
Does he wash it at least?
Unclear.
No, I understand that. I wear the same boxers for most Cowboys games.
That explains why they stink.
Yeah, well,
I bet the Cowboys.
but I do that. I wear the
Why?
same.
It never works.
Well, they're blue. They're like blue,
but it
and
literally,
dark blue. They're dark blue, light
with
blue.
all the pain that they've put you through. Don't you think
they're
maybe
newer? They're newer. It's not like I've had these for 20 years.
Yeah,
but I still wear them every Sunday. I mean, they won more Sundays than they lost this last season.
And how many championships do they
Again,
have?
they're not old boxers. They're new boxers.
I'm not saying they're old or new, but I'm saying
I wear the same things every Sunday.
But why?
Because I like the Cowboy stuff that I have, so I wear that Cowboy stuff.
You have more than just that Cowboy stuff.
I know, but I really like it, and I want it to be my Sunday Cowboy outfit.
Even though they suck in it.
No, they win. Again, they win more than they lose. They went like 13.
Cool. You're the Iowa of the NFL.
They went 13-6 this year.
You're the Iowa of the NFL.
No.
Why don't you hire Brian Ferentz?
No, Kellen Moore was better than Brian. I know how much you hate Kellen Moore, but he was better than Brian Ferentz.
You really should change it up.
Well, I did at the end of the year. I got a new outfit. Not outfit. I got a new sweatshirt. I started wearing it for games. And then they lost against 49ers.
I wear outfits.
I thought this was going to be my new awesome Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl hoodie sweatshirt.
So you just gave up on all the mojo.
Well, they lost. I wore it, but they lost.
Say I wear the same thing for every Packer game,
See?
basically.
Yeah, this is normal activity.
I'm not like socks.
Mahomes,
All
one
right,
of us.
hold on.
Dan?
Not socks and underwear, but I have like a bunch. I mean, you guys have seen I have a bunch of different Packers t-shirts.
Sure, yeah.
But I wear the same Packers t-shirt once they get on to like a winning streak every Sunday.
Nice.
I still wash it.
Nice.
And I wear the same pair of jeans because I have my Sunday jeans that are like, the
Sunday jeans.
Well, yeah, you have like your bad pair of jeans that you wear on Sunday when you're like cleaning the house and stuff.
Whoa. So you're at home.
Yeah.
You wear jeans inside?
Yeah, I wear jeans in the house.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
What the hell? Hell no. It's a comfy pants day.
Those are my comfy pants.
No, Dan,
Well,
like,
maybe they're
like
comfy
sweats, track pants, those types of pants. Swishy pants, as I used to call them back in the day.
Yeah,
you don't have any of those?
Those pants go on once the sun goes down.
No, those are all day Sunday. Again, no one's over. Well, I mean, maybe people are over, but who cares? One of my friends, he came over for the Super Bowl, and he goes, I should find the text, but he's like, hey, what are you wearing? Are you wearing jeans or are you wearing lounge pants? He goes, are you wearing lounge pants? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm wearing lounge pants. He goes, all right, cool. I'm going to wear lounge pants too. It's a Sunday. Jeans in my own home on a Sunday?
Yeah, jeans in my own home on a Sunday.
I feel like a monster.
It also is just like the mojo.
I wear sweatpants.
Yeah, of course. It's the first thing I do when I get home. I take Banks out, and then the next thing I do is put on comfy pants. I take off my jeans. I say,
Ditto.
get out of here, jeans.
Ditto.
I'm at home. Or in the summer, comfy shorts.
Ditto.
I'm not trying to wear my khakis.
Ditto.
Wow. Dang. So what do you wear on Sundays in the summer? You wear khakis?
I wear just I have like those like stretchy kind of like golf shorts.
Yeah.
I wear those.
Interesting. This could be a poll question. Do you wear jeans at home on a Sunday?
What I don't wear when I'm at home in the summer is jean shorts.
Good call. Thank you.
Because that is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I also only own one pair of jean shorts, and they're a little bit.
Back in the day when I used to wear jean shorts many years ago, they were some of my favorite pair of shorts.
Yeah, I haven't worn
They were
shorts
very
I
comfortable.
don't know, since high school maybe.
Mine are just beat.
Wow, Corey says I support Dan. Jeans all the time. Corey, live the life of comfort. And I love wearing sweats. Comfy pants.
Yeah, I never
Lounge pants, as David calls them.
You don't have that just like one pair of jeans or something that like are really comfortable.
No, I mean the one I'm wearing right now are solid.
Yeah,
but
the ones I wear are
it's a
comfortable,
Sunday.
but it's Sunday. If I'm at home,
I don't want to wear
I'm
a
not,
belt.
Yeah, I'm
on
just,
a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to wear a belt.
Then they fall down.
I mean, that's why they're my comfy pants, because they're like a 36 waist.
Damn,
so they're a little bit, they're a little bit loose.
You were a wild man.
They're like some 501s, so they're like thick in the thighs. And
I wouldn't be
long
surprised
in
if,
the
if
leg.
there's other people who are like Dan and like the email, or
like Corey.
My dad would wear. Now I think he's transitioned a little bit. I think Dad always wore jeans around the house.
Trent says jeans on a Sunday. Terrible take. Thank you, Trent. That's my Sunday best.
Well, okay,
jeans.
then my question would be, how bad are your jeans if they're that uncomfortable?
No, again, mine are comfortable. I just don't want to wear them on a Sunday
Why do you wear the comfy pants?
because I want to be comfy. They're more comfortable than jeans. Again, I
Sure.
like jeans.
But there
I
might
wear-
be some people like Dan who have a pair of jeans that are as comfortable as comfy pants.
You know, like how some like offices that you and I don't work at, thankfully,
Mhm.
like Fridays, it's like jeans Friday. So for them, that is their version of comfort. For
Sure.
me, if we did a comfort Friday, I'd wear sweats because I wear jeans every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack says, Josh wearing the junior sized Cowboys underwear his mom bought him for Christmas in 1999. Wild.
Look, it has a picture of Troy Aikman on them. No, that's just the stain.
Jed says, who cares what day it is? Pants at home at any time equals dumb. Jed goes pantsless. You know who we could ask about this?
Mike Schaefer.
Mike Schaefer in our next segment.
Yeah, when Jed's lounging around rewatching MAC games from 2019. Don't bother Dad. He's lounging around pantsless, watching Bowling Green.
His junk's hanging out again.
If it wasn't on the first floor of an apartment complex, my pants would be off. But...
All right, we've gone too far. Mike
Mhm.
Schaefer coming up next. We'll ask him about
jeans,
the crystal ball that that maybe stretched a few pants around Nebraska. 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, heads up that 144th southbound at I-80. The right lane is closed for some road damage. Expect delays and keep left through there. Also got a crash that has the left lane blocked on the northbound North Freeway at Cumming Street. It's got traffic backed up to I-480. And then if you're east on L Street, delays between 96th and 90th, and delays on eastbound 370 between 90th and 84th. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lawrence and Gardens.
The latest exhibit at Lawrence Gardens is making a big splash. Don't miss the fantastic sculptures of Washed Ashore, Art to Save the Seas, on display through May 14th. To plan your family's art adventure, visit lawrencegardens.org.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72. Be a part of the Host Coffee team today. If you'd like to work for a trusted and loyal family-owned company that understands the needs of working families, Host Coffee has your opportunity. Apply at hostcoffee.net.
My, how time flies. Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. Did you know DJ's is celebrating its 30-year anniversary? Yep, everyone at DJ's Dugout says, thank you, Omaha Metro, for your amazing support since 1993. DJ's truly loves the communities they serve, and it's an honor to serve you, friends and guests, for so many years. Here's to another 30 years. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Take your basketball game to a whole nother level with Omaha Sports Academy. Tryouts are right around the corner for youth boys and girls, February 27th and March 1st. For high school girls, March 5th. For high school boys, March 12th. You can be part of a program that will take your game to a whole nother level. You can practice and play in top-notch facilities with OSA-trained coaches under the oversight of a full-time professional coaching staff that's got a lengthy resume of success. It's the only program in Nebraska on the Adidas Gold Circuit. So ensure your opportunities to college coaches regionally and nationally, and be your best. Learn teamwork, responsibility, and much more with Omaha Sports Academy.
Tell us how you feel on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Reach Gary, Nick, Connor, Josh, and John anytime on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction at yourexteriorexperts.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Omaha Maverick women's basketball hits the road for the final week this regular season, heading to Vermilion to take on South Dakota Thursday. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. Thursday night. Hear all of the Omaha women's action against South Dakota at 7 p.m. Thursday on 1180 The Zone.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Woodhouse brings you the experts and insight to keep your vehicle road ready. From regular maintenance to larger issues, our team of service advisors and brand certified techs have the solutions to get you and your vehicle back on the road.
Plus, you can enjoy convenience of scheduling online, amenities like pickup and delivery, and for quick fixes, comfortable lounges within our dealerships. Bringing you more every time since 1975. Service with Woodhouse.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Earthlings, we have now taken over your radio.
Mike Schaefer.
See, I would argue, because I like to argue,
we all underestimated how hard it is to, one, win college football games, and two, transition and take over a program.
Mike Schaefer.
I was trying to kindly tell Mr. Bishop the Vikings have a chance to surprise some people, and I think that they could even win the division.
Mike Schaefer.
It doesn't seem like the kind of book where they would be hooked on meth. That got dark.
Mike Schaefer.
All right, give me a weather report, Shafe. Has it started snowing yet in Lincoln?
No snow. It seems like it's fine for now.
Not yet, folks.
I would imagine when you are driving back here in about an hour and 20 minutes, you'll be driving into something at that point. But who knows? It's Lincoln. We have no idea. Weather exists everywhere else, and we just get what we get.
That's true. There's a part of me now, of course, part of me is still very angry at the guy sitting to my left because he's the one that brought this on us. That would like to see at least enough snow to justify my snowblower.
Oh,
which hasn't been used in 2 years.
How have you I bought one. I bought one last year. We moved into that house December 23rd. I think I bought one 2 days after Christmas. I have never used it. Still has the tags and everything.
Yeah.
Didn't it snow a lot?
No, not enough.
Oh,
to use
that's
a
right. We
snowblower.
got a ton of snow, but you guys didn't because the whole link dome.
Yeah, no.
Well, okay.
Not enough in Lincoln.
So, John, how much snow needs to be down for you to use the snowblower relative to? So Shelby got after me a little bit because I could have used the snowblower at one point, but I feel like it has to be enough to justify it.
Yeah, you see, technically, here's the thing, because unlike most lawnmowers, the starting process for a snowblower is a little more, complex.
Mhm.
You got to hit the choke just right. And you got to prime it and all this.
I just press a button and turn and then pull. And it's
But yeah, with mine, there's a little more, intricacy to it. And plus that, it's the pain of jostling it out and getting it in position and all that other stuff. Most of the time, if it's like just an inch, you can just go out there with a broom almost and get rid of it. I'm not gonna bother to get the snowblower out. I mean,
half a foot.
No, I think once you get like to 3 or 4,
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
3 or 4, you can pretty justify.
And
it
it-
also depends
like
on
the
if, like,
heavier
it's a-
snow.
wet snow.
For sure.
Absolutely. Then you're going whole hog. And
Right, we're
my
the
tolerance
same boat.
level's probably been moved down to the point where I'm like, I want to use this thing at some point. So I might
So
be
tonight,
out,
an inch
I
of
might be
snow?
out. I might be out there with a trace of snow.
I like it. I like
Shape,
it.
I feel bad because I was reviewing the Super 6. Was I the only one that just did a high school only version?
No, I think either BC or Brunts, one of them did that. Damon, I think, did that. A couple people went that route, so it wasn't just you. Some people it was a mixture. Some people it was only high school guys. I don't think anyone did only transfers. That would have looked a little interesting.
I believe I did submit a transfer only one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can find them.
But you're not going to publish both of them. You publish one of them. But I almost think, are you going to reconsider next year or in the future of mandating? Okay, we're going to just include everybody or do separate ones.
Well, it was always high school, and then last year was the first time where we basically threw it open to interpretation of however people wanted to do it. And now I kind of just plan on leaving it as that. If you feel like there's a transfer you want to include and 5 other high school guys, great. If there's one high school guy and there's 5 impact transfers, great. I mean, part of it is there's no criteria, and I do that on purpose. I let people determine what they want to. For some people, it's the 6 guys they think are going to play the most in their careers. For others, it's the 6 guys they think will have the strongest impact. 6 biggest needs that were filled. I mean, it really just, it comes down to individual preference and sort of how you want to, rank things out in that regard. And I just decided, much like the NCAA, when it comes to regulating NIL, less is more. Less guidance is more fun for everybody.
Shafe, you need to give us guardrails. We need guardrails.
I believe that you can get that car and drive it without veering off the road. I believe in you.
Hey, Shafe, you just mentioned filling needs. What position group did they best fill of that need, and which one did they do the poorest job, do you think, now looking back on both the signing class, the high school players, and then the portal guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how everyone else sort of feels about it. I guess I don't also really care how everyone else feels about it. I mean, so there's that. I liked what they did with the defensive line. Was it the best that they did? I don't know. But I know walking away as I look at that class, I like seeing Riley Van Poppel and Prince Will Umanmielen and Sua Lafotu and guys like that. I mean, part of it for me, as I look at what didn't work for Scott Frost, in addition to a number of things, and we could spend time on that if you'd like, but they just weren't good enough in the trenches in terms of recruiting. And that just really hurt them at times. Now, I think they benefited greatly with that extra year and having guys like Ben Stilley and others that were stalwarts for you, but they didn't have anything really behind it. And we saw that sort of come to fruition when they didn't have anyone to replace Damian Daniels. And so I think they've done a nice job sort of filling in this class, getting guys that I think can be impactful defensive linemen. They've got to continue doing that. But this was a nice defensive line haul that at one point was largely just, Riley Van Poppel. And depending on what they want to play and how they want to play it, a number of those guys, I mean, Vincent Carroll Jackson's another player I'm really interested in, the defensive lineman from Pennsylvania that only had, a year of football under his belt. So I just think there's some really intriguing pieces in there, in addition to some guys that I think are very likely to hit, like a Riley Van Poppel or a Prince Will. So those 2 guys in particular prop that up. So I don't know that it's what everyone would say, but I really like what they did there. And then, where you could have seen something better or maybe more, I still wonder, I look at what they have at wide receiver. I look at Billy Kemp. I think that was a nice addition. I wondered if they wouldn't have been better served getting another wide receiver out of the transfer portal. I don't look at a Bryce Turner or a Jalen Lloyd or even a Malachi Coleman and think that they're going to get something there for 2023. Now, maybe, that's where, if you're a real optimist, you're looking at a Xavier Betts or a Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, and maybe one of those guys kind of fills in as that wide receiver transfer addition to go along with Billy Kemp. But or maybe you just really believe that what they have on the roster is good enough to go addition with Billy Kemp. But I would have liked to have seen one more wide receiver, I think. But for the most part, it's hard to argue that they didn't attack every position. I mean, they really went out there. When you take 41 players, I mean, You'd hope you'd attack every position.
Mike Schaefer joining us from Husker 24/7. The Riley Van Poppel was your number 1. He was a consensus number 3 on the Super 6. I'm curious, what made him your number 1 pick?
Well, I think he's got an extremely high floor, which is a weird way to start off with a guy at number 1, because normally you want to talk about upside, which I think he has. But I think that he fits a position where they've struggled to recruit. He could either end up as an interior defensive lineman, or in a 3-3-5 or a 3-4, he could be, a Ben Stilley type. I've used that example here a little bit, but I think he's that with more upside, if that makes sense. If you're looking for the dream comp, it's James Lynch, or as I like to always say, James Husker Lynch, as that was his middle name, and Nebraska never offered him a scholarship. But that's the dream scenario. That's the guy that, when I think of Matt Rule and Baylor football, it's James Lynch. If they get that out of Riley Van Poppel, and we're talking about the defensive player of the year and an unanimous All-American, I mean, there's no question. Then you're talking about the number 1 guy in a class. I don't know that he's going to get there. It'd be weird to project that for one guy individually. But I just really like his upside. I think he's a multi-year starter. I think he's a contributor early in his career. I think he's a leader in the class. I think he's a leader on and off the field. I just like him. I like him a lot. I think there's a lot of safety there, and I think there's upside there as well.
Shape, let's talk about Dylan Raiola. I've jokingly said to you, yeah, exactly. I've jokingly said to you, sometimes on the air, most of the time off the air, like, hey, you should put in a crystal ball for, and then I usually mention some 5-star to Nebraska just to see the reaction. And we kind of got to see what the reaction is and how it plays out over the course of however long it's been now since you put in the crystal ball for Dylan Raiola to Nebraska. Why did you decide to do this? Why did you decide to do this now?
Yeah, I mean, I had some conversations on Saturday that definitely gave me an indication that Nebraska was out in front. And with that being the case, and with reading some tea leaves a little bit, some previous conversations, it just made it feel like, why not go ahead and move forward with this? There's already predictions in for Georgia and other schools. And I wasn't even the first to put in for Nebraska. It might have just been one of the first locally. And I think it's just a situation where I felt comfortable doing it. I mean, I put a 4 confidence. Obviously, if I felt even better about it, it'd be higher. But I feel like right now on February 15th, with all the information that I have and all the conversations that I've had, if you asked me to place a bet on where Dylan Raiola is going to go, I'd tell you Nebraska. And since I was confident enough and I feel confident enough with that, it was time to move forward with a crystal ball prediction. And I think this is going to happen in the next 1 to 2 months here. So, I mean, I think that we're looking at that visit weekend, which, over at Husker 24/7, my cohorts, Brian Christopherson and Will Turboff, who's working with us now. He's a student journalist at the University of Nebraska, and he's going to be someone you'll have on your show, I'm sure, in future years. He's really good. Those guys have already lined up and confirmed some people coming up for the weekend that Dylan Raiola is. And I think Nebraska is really kind of making that a big visit weekend right now. Mm-hmm. And Dylan Raiola is at the center of all of that. Just like if he ends up in this class, he's going to be at the center of peer recruiting. He's going to be at the center of a pitch to any wide receiver or offensive lineman or running back in the country that you're recruiting. Hey, the number 1 quarterback, the number 1 player, Dylan Raiola, you know the name. He's going to be the quarterback of the future here. I mean, so I think Nebraska is trying to line all of that up. I think that they could end up with that commitment from Dylan Raiola in April. I feel good about where this is going. And I've sat here on your show and I've sort of downplayed it too. So I think the fact that, it's me putting in the crystal ball and the fact that I've been somewhat skeptical that Nebraska could end up with them probably only added to a little bit of the fervor on Monday when that happened. But I feel good about, where things are at. And I feel good about how Matt Rule has aggressively attacked that recruitment.
Now, Shafe, how people get triggered when folks make predictions about things and then the thing doesn't happen and then they come back and they blame you. There are still people that blame me for the Purdue loss 2 years ago.
You guaranteed it.
I did.
Well, some people guarantee the weather and it just doesn't always work out how they plan.
Is there any part of you, in all seriousness, is there any part of you, because it's a recruiting prediction and you're a recruiting guy, you talk to these people, you talk to the people that surround these folks, that makes you hesitant to put in a crystal ball, especially for someone like a Dylan Raiola, because if it comes back and isn't accurate, you know what's going to happen. The message board Illuminati is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want how I use the crystal ball to be determined based on what the public reaction to it's going to be, because that's not the point, really. And look, I get things wrong. Trust me, there's plenty of Georgia people on Twitter and on 24/7 Sports, other message boards, that are more than happy to point out that my accuracy is currently at 73%. I would love to point back to them that Nebraska's had multiple transition classes and guys that decommit and flip to go to other schools, and there's not a lot you can really do about it. So your accuracy is what it is. But I didn't go into this lightly. Like, this wasn't like, it's the day after the Super Bowl. I want to get Nebraska fans fired up. Let's have a good time with it. No, I mean, I make these predictions because the information I have in that moment says that this is where it's going to go. That doesn't mean that Dylan Raiola is 100% locked to go to Nebraska. If I felt that, I would reflect it more, with the confidence. But I feel like they're leading right now on on February 15th. If that were to change by March 3rd, maybe I put in a different prediction. I mean, some of it is people see it on Twitter, but they don't actually follow any of the work. They didn't read the story that I wrote that outlined why I made the prediction and why I chose to make it right now. I mean, maybe they catch an interview like this, but none of it's a guarantee. I mean, anything can change at any time, but the information of which I'm operating on, I feel good about where things are at. I feel good about where things are going. And it just felt like it was the time to go ahead and put in that prediction, because I think we're talking about a commitment that's coming relatively soon. If he was deciding before the start of his senior year, if the information that I had pointed in the direction that it was going to be a September 1st decision, I'm probably not putting that crystal ball in. But because it looks like it's going to happen in late March or early April, and that lines up perfectly with a visit to Nebraska and everything else that I've heard, that made me feel more comfortable going ahead and putting that prediction in on Monday.
Shafe, you guys talked about it on the pod yesterday, kind of going through the Rolodex of like highest ranked commitments since you've been covering recruiting, highest ranked players that Nebraska kind of had a chance at. And I thought that you did a really good job of explaining why this one is even more unique, because like Micah Parsons was a player you guys brought up, right? And Micah Parsons, 5-star, ultimately chose Penn State. Nebraska may or may not have had a good chance at landing him. But I mean, he's not the number one player overall in the entire class, let alone a quarterback. Like, I know that you thought about what this would mean for Nebraska. Like, what would this mean? I keep asking that of people because I find it such a fascinating question.
Well, I mean, it's enormous. It's twofold. So it's a signal to other recruits, hey, something's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, like the skepticism of Nebraska getting a 5-star and Nebraska getting a 5-star quarterback, and his last name being being Raiola, his dad being Dominic, his uncle being Donovan. Like, you're going to have people that are just going to write it off. Well, of course he's going to go there. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But it's the Pied Piper effect of what it means towards the other recruits. It sort of immediately gives Matt Rule some, real cachet on the recruiting trail. And it breathes life into an incredibly stale program. Every offseason always feels good, but then the actual season happens and all of those feelings go away. And you're left with that kind of reeky desperation that Nebraska football has been living in for the last decade. A moment like this sort of opens that up to where, recruiting isn't everything, but it's a big start.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously you got to first get him, then you got to sign him, then he's got to enroll. And if all of those things happen, then he also needs to play well.
Yeah.
But even if he doesn't end up being the best player in the country for his graduating class, he could still help you bring in other talent. And he can still open the idea that, hey, Nebraska doesn't just have to be the school my dad talks about because they were good in 1995. Nebraska could be a place where I want to go because that's where other guys that I like are going. And that's where good players are coming out of. I mean, you need someone to kind of kick the door down. It could just happen for Nebraska. The guy kicking the door down is Dylan Raiola, the number one player in the country. And then to do it at the single biggest position in all of football is the other part of all of this. I mean, the fact that he could end up at Nebraska and in his freshman year, if he's a starting quarterback and he lights somebody up on national TV, and there's a kid sitting at home that has a Nebraska offer that thinks, I want to go play with that guy. Like, the ramifications and the long-term effect of getting this commitment and Dylan Raiola being a good college quarterback are enormous. I mean, Clemson, we think about Clemson and we talk about Dabo Sweeney a ton. Clemson is not who they are without Deshaun Watson and the Pied Piper effect of what he did for the state of Georgia and for kids that wanted to go play with him. And yes, they had a ton of other talent that was already there, but that led to Trevor Lawrence. Deshaun Watson beget Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence begets, DJ Uiagalelei and everything else. And, we'll see where they go with it. But we can talk about how important it is to have a great coach. Great coaches still need great players. And sometimes those great players, have that Pied Piper effect. And I fully believe that Dylan Raiola would have that, not just for other offensive players around him, but for the team as a whole.
It'd be fascinating if you could put a number to it. because I don't know if you really can, but you know how we have expected points added when it comes to certain things? A Raiola commit and expected recruits added. If there was a way you could,
I
mean,
love this.
Let's face it. Analytics.
I like it. Maybe I can invent a new statistic and then I can just retire.
I mean, Ken Palm does a luck statistic for crying out loud. Things you literally can't measure, and they still manage to measure a thing called luck. This is probably something we could try to do, a 24/7 sports.
Expected star ranking added.
Expected recruits added.
I like it.
We'll have to lay out some parameters. I mean, the last time I discussed creating a statistic with someone that worked for NRG, it was our mutual friend Jack Mitchell. You should ask him about his analytics that he put together for deciding a new coach, and it really just turned into his feelings somehow turned into a statistic. It's pretty great. So I'd like this to be a little bit more scientific than I like the guy. That was, one of his analytics that he had.
Shafe, you and I, we and John, we all love talking NFL. I did want to ask you about the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Have they? Okay, so we all have our teams that we despise because they're like rivals. You hate the Packers, I hate Eagles, Giants. John hates Cowboys, 49ers, etc. And then you have those ones that are outside of your division or outside of your conference, but they have just become that kind of unlikable beast. Obviously, the Patriots of this century have become that team. Do you think the Chiefs now have turned into the most unlikable franchise for those who, quote unquote, don't have skin in the game, for non-AFC West fans? Have they reached that mountaintop this quickly where they are going to be now this generation's Patriots in the coming seasons?
It feels to me that it lines up in a couple different ways. So I think that you don't really have like the bandwagon, I kind of want to root for this team because they're fun. I think they've kind of lost that at this point.
Yep.
I think you might still have, I like to see this team, or I hope they do well because I like Patrick Mahomes. Yep. So I think there's still that aspect of it. But I don't know that you catch the team overall. I mean, I definitely, and some of it's just anecdotal within the friend group that I have. I mean, pretty much there's either the people that are Chiefs fans and then everybody else was rooting against the Chiefs at this point. And I think they've just reached that role. And that's what happens when you make, 5 straight AFC championship games?
Yep.
I mean, and there's the added bonus of the state of which we reside in. It's the most local team available.
Yeah.
So I think for me personally, my disdain of the Chiefs was always being forced into having that as one of the games that you were getting on your local television more than anything else about the organization. I enjoy watching Patrick Mahomes a lot.
Yep.
And I married a Chiefs fan, but I wasn't rooting for them on Sunday. And I generally don't root for them most Sundays, much to the chagrin of my wife and other people around me. But I definitely feel like they have reached the point where they are maybe the closest thing to a villain for the NFL, which is sort of fascinating because they don't really have that in them outside of Travis Kelce, but he has so much of it in him that it makes him somewhat unlikable now at this point. Yep. Because otherwise, I like Patrick Mahomes. I think Andy Reid's a great coach and a great personality and great for football. I hope the talk of him potentially retiring is not true. I'd rather have him in football than without him.
I don't think he's retired.
But you got to have teams like that. I wrote about this the other day. One of the great things about the Chiefs being in this is it sort of replaces what the Patriots were, which was the measuring stick in which every other NFL team used. It mattered when you beat the Patriots. It matters when you beat the Chiefs. And so, you got to have those kind of teams. Otherwise, you end up with these sort of, Super Bowl runs where you're trying to decide, well, was this team really that good or did they get lucky for, a great month, that kind of thing. It's a big deal for, I imagine, Buccaneers fans. Their Super Bowl came at the expense of Patrick Mahomes. Like that means just a little bit more, I would imagine. So I think it's good for the NFL. And at the same time, Chiefs fans are probably looking around wondering why people don't like them anymore. But I think that's sort of what happens with sustained success.
Yep.
I'm warning you, Chiefs fans, you have now crossed the line.
They're going to embrace it. They'll be fine.
I don't know why you wouldn't embrace it.
Yes, you'll embrace the idea that it's happening because it means your team is good, but I don't think they're going to handle it very well.
Well, no fan base does, you know.
Yeah, but I think
I feel like the Boston fan base handled it really well.
But even they can be like, "Why are you guys so picking on us so much?" Even Boston fans can be whiny that way.
To me,
listen, I can't stand Boston fan, but I will give them credit. They seem to embrace the heel role as well as anybody out there can.
Yankees fans probably.
The Chiefs fans aren't going to handle this very well because for the longest time, a lot of people around here, they liked them. They were happy to see them
Or at least they didn't have an
well.
opinion on them.
Or
you
they
know?
didn't
that
have a
was
strong
me.
opinion.
It was just
Now
like,
there's
oh,
gonna
they're
be
taking up
people
a
that are gonna-
time slot on my TV. That
Yep.
was my opinion on them.
Yep.
They're on TV this week.
So
That's why I always
think
liked them when they were good.
I feel like the telling thing is there's people like you have those friends that root for a team where something good happens and you text them and you like congratulate them or whatever. I didn't send a single congratulatory text to a Chiefs fan after Sunday night. Like, what are you going to say? They won their second Super Bowl in like 4 years.
Congrats on having Mahomes.
Third time they played in it. Like, what? Am I going to congratulate you for this? Like, yeah, I mean, you won the game. Hooray. But I'm not like happy for any of them. You know? Like, that sounds weird. Like, I'm not like jealous of it. I suppose on some level I am.
Definitely.
But it's not like this negative thing either. It's just like I don't feel compelled to be like, well, congratulations, you breathed air. Like that's kind of what it feels like when you win your second championship and you played for 3 out of the last 5 years.
Shake, you said something along those lines about the measuring stick. So in the last 5 years, they have won 2, they've been to another, and they've lost obviously in the AFC Championship game. 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowl champions have either been the Chiefs or teams that beat the Chiefs on the way to their Super Bowl. The only one that's not is the Rams. You know, because the Rams beat Cincinnati.
Oh, are you trying to disrespect us?
Maybe is the Rams Super Bowl lesser? 402-951-1620.
But listen, we're the reigning defending NFC champions of the Super Bowl.
They are. Shape said it though. They are now the measuring stick, and that game now. You know, if your team is playing Kansas City for as long as Mahomes is there, that is like the game where you're like, we got to go to that game. If you're a season ticket holder, no matter what you have in the other 7 or 8 home games, that's the one you have to make sure you go to.
I agree. By the way, Shafe, I want to compliment you. The beard is looking very nice and trim.
That's looking good.
It's almost, you know how hockey goalie masks have now kind of got that streamlined look.
It's got that shape, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I want a customized hockey mask that's painted up to make it look like Mike's face.
I like that.
I actually had never had this thought until you just sort of said that. What my facial hair sort of looks like is a reverse troll doll. You know how those come to the point? You know, like mine is just the reverse of it. I have like the downward hair of a troll.
So why don't we stick you on a pencil and go back and forth and see if it gets all frizzled out?
I just compared myself to one of the ugliest toys of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
That is true.
By the way, Mike writes in, weather alert, flurries at 48th and 0 in Lincoln. So it's begun.
Here on the eastern edge of society in Lincoln, Nebraska, there's no flurries.
No flurries just yet.
All
That's
right,
good.
just hang on, hold off until 7:30 when I am safely back in my garage.
Drive safe, John. Drive safe.
Just that's all I ask.
I'm good with that. I can support that.
Yeah. All right, Mike Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen, of Husker247.com. Thanks, Shafe.
Bye,
Shafe. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
By the way, Shafe will get a congratulatory text if and when the Vikings ever win a Super Bowl.
I'll text it. Oh, and then he left.
Yeah.
I would text him. Text him. I text
Absolutely.
my brother, text my uncle. Grant says the generation of kids under 18 loves Mahomes. They are his, I think he means he is their Jordan, LeBron, etc. Then he adds the fact that everybody hates our most beloved player, Travis Kelce, is great. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't understand, like, why do you need to be, I don't know what they want, like this is what happens when you're good. This is what happens.
Why do you think that Travis Kelce is your most beloved player?
Maybe he is for Chiefs fans, probably because he's annoying and they're annoying,
Travis Kelce is no different than what Grant Gibbs was for Creighton.
Draymond Green for the Warriors.
You love him if he's one of yours. Yeah. You hate him if he's one of theirs.
And speaking of the Warriors, I remember how fast they went from, wow, this is so cool, to I hate you. And it was fast. I was blown away that it turned as quick. It was the following season that people couldn't stand him. And it's like, That's how fast it happens. You
It
know?
does. It does happen
and,
that fast.
And the Chiefs, they were 5 years ago, 2018. Well, yeah, the 2018 season. That was the Mahomes year. And it was like, whoa, this team rules. Because we were all sick of Brady. We were sick of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people in my life I knew watched that AFC title game against the Patriots and were rooting so hard for the Chiefs. And they were so bummed that the Chiefs lost.
Mm-hmm.
And now just a short few years later, they're rooting for the city of Philadelphia in a Super Bowl. Monsters. What's happening to you people?
Well, that's just what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it would have been that way. And granted, again, we're not in the Philadelphia sphere of influence, but because the Eagles would have done it with almost an entirely different team, I don't think the Eagles would have attained that level.
No.
Because they would have won 2 in 6 years, right?
Yeah, it would have been 6 seasons.
2 in 6 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, plus they have
you wouldn't have had that level.
Yeah.
But because the Chiefs, with all the division titles, they've been in every big game for the last 5 years.
Yeah, people are just ready for something new.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the Chiefs, too, so I think they have the quarterback that a lot of us do like still. I still like Mahomes, and I still like their head coach. Travis Kelce obviously grates on people. You know, like you said, you either love him or you hate him, depending on if he's on your side. The Eagles don't have that. I don't think they have a player that is that people either love or hate. I don't think they have that. I think Sirianni is a huge, I'm not going to say the word, but I don't like the guy. But,
he's a division rival. So.
But they're Philadelphia sports fans, definitely are a unlikable bunch across the board. And people like making fun of Philly for that. Chiefs fans, I think, are now becoming I wonder in our lifetime if we will talk eventually about Kansas City Chiefs fans like we do about Boston fans and Philly fans, New York fans, Cowboys fans, and not just locally. I wonder if nationally they'll become that.
I don't know. I don't know if they will. Only because, and I know the NFL doesn't operate in these spheres. And that's one of the great things about the NFL is you can have teams from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Kansas City, Missouri, and Seattle, Washington win championships. It's not just coming from New York, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, San Francisco, the biggest cities.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, that the element of it still would be a small market. I don't know if they could ever attain that level. One of the things that helps make Philly fan is they're so close to New York.
Sure.
And everybody in the media center of the United States is very aware of them.
Definitely.
Well, and I think what's interesting about Kansas City just in general is that they represent such a large swath of the country. Whereas,
Midwest.
if you're literally thinking about the Green Bay Packers, their tentacles truly only stretch to the Wisconsin border and into the Upper Peninsula. The Kansas City Chiefs have basically the whole swath of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri.
Well, I don't know if I'd agree with that, Dan. I'd say the Packers have a lot of what you just described.
Well, and the Vikings do,
and the
too.
Vikings, yeah.
No, but I get your point. They do. The Chiefs do because of the proximity to other teams. I mean, historically, their logo used to be the Indian chief running across a map of Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas.
Also, how long until they have to change their team name?
We talked about it a few years ago.
Surprised. I'm really, I know the last couple of years they've tried to, but it is not. And again, another part of it too is the nature of the word Redskins was in and of itself
a slur. You've told the story many times about looking it up in the dictionary.
Exactly.
And literally learning it was a slur.
So that the Chiefs don't have that going for them,
but they do have the tomahawk chop.
But exactly.
Yeah, there have been a couple.
That's where I
articles
think that their fans, you're right. They're not Boston and Philadelphia fans. You're right, but they have that, and I think that's where it could allow them to veer into hateable fan, era. But again, we are talking from a place of we are so localized to them, and that.
Yeah,
that
we're hyper aware
of
Chiefs Kingdom.
But as Jordan says, Stibbs tried to warn us. That's going to be the funniest part is that dude was so far out ahead. And he always said it, if they ever win big, he's like, people will not be able to stand it.
Well, I was the first guy on the Hate Brady Express. Now I pass the baton to Stibbs.
David says, you have their play-by-play guy saying they're the only team who prepares in the offseason. Yeah, Mitch had quite a good time yesterday. Stibbs just said veer into hateable. My goodness. Sorry, Stibbs. I mean, when they showed the shot of, like, did you see the shot of foreign countries watching the Super Bowl? And they had fans in Germany doing the tomahawk chop. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't know if I want Germans doing something.
Whoa!
Spot the light, John.
Whoa!
Germany, a bit problematic.
We're going to take a break on that on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
They were eating poop left and right. They did. Do you guys not remember this?
They're eating poop.
Eagles fan eats horse poop. February 6th, 2018.
That was one person.
It's a new thing, probably.
Cowboy fan derangement syndrome.
No.
Come back in full force.
No.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Winter storm warnings are in effect for the Omaha Metro. Light to moderate snow possible for this evening around 6 o'clock and throughout the overnight. Light snowfall should be tapering off around daybreak Thursday. By then, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible for the Omaha Metro. Higher amounts down to the south. By the afternoon for your Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high temperature of 29. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KTV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, heads up, a crash has the right lane blocked on the northbound JFK at F Street with stop-and-go traffic back from L Street. A wreck also has the left shoulder blocked on the southbound JFK at F Street. Medical emergency on westbound I-80 has the right lane blocked at 13th. And then a heads up that southbound 144th, the right lane is closed at I-80 for some roadway damage. Expect delays and keep left in that area. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
The Nebraska Lottery has raised over $908 million, which has helped to provide more than 117,000 college scholarships, save wildlife habitats across the state, and fund new facilities at the Nebraska State Fair. The Nebraska Lottery, helping to build a better Nebraska.
Creighton Sports Update.
Creighton women's basketball is back at DJ Sokol Arena on Saturday as they host the Georgetown Hoyas in their annual Peakout game. Tip-off is set for 1 p.m. Limited tickets are available online at gocreighton.com/tickets. That's Creighton versus Georgetown, Saturday at 1 p.m. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Dust. It's in the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It's also in your lungs. Let's fix that, shall we? Duct Defense Midwest offers a comprehensive system that cleans, disinfects, filters, and purifies the air. They'll make your home healthier and improve the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com right now for a special air duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. cleanairradio.com.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is your home for the big game. Whether it's the pro football playoffs or a rivalry on the hardwood, you'll find all the action on Oscar's upgraded audio-video system. With 40 TVs and massive dual projectors, the game has never looked better. Pair that with their award-winning char-buffed wings and $7.99 Monday through Friday lunch specials. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has everything you need. 173rd and West Center Road, and for takeout at 162nd in Maple.
The Creighton Blue Jays are headed to Queens to take on the St. John's Red Storm. Pre-game coverage begins with Robbie Lula at 5 p.m. Tip-off at 6:30. Saturday night basketball, the Creighton Blue Jays on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Don't miss this week's Zone deal.
This week's half-off deal is Cops. Receive 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Cops makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. For the basic menu, click copspizza.com. And for the extended menu, visit them at Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and the newly reopened 72nd and Jones locations.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
In a house in Omaha, people gather in the kitchen. They don't talk about school and work. They talk about doctors and surgeries. They're the families of Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha, and the kitchen is where they come together to share the struggles their children are facing. For these families, it's the little things like a home-cooked meal, even while far from home, that make the biggest difference. Volunteer to prepare a meal by visiting rmhcomaha.org.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
Here is Pat. Pat, please get us off.
The 1620, The Zone.
John, I just saw something that is vital and important.
No.
Rusty Lord. You know Rusty Lord from such tweets as, here's the weather. I don't know what he says. Probably.
Call up young Lord, ASAP Rusty. He's legit.
There you go. Rusty works for WOWT, Channel 6 here in town.
That's the NBC affiliate.
That is. The
In fact,
only
we have it on in the studio right now, as a matter of things, right there.
It's
there's John Nicely and Lauren Taylor.
Isn't it the only TV or radio station west of the Mississippi to have W as the first call letter?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Some fun facts.
No, I think there's a station in San Antonio that might have a W as well. But it predates the west of the Mississippi K's, starts with a K, east of the Mississippi W's.
I think W sounds, I wish we were WZON. I think it sounds so cool.
Zone?
Yeah, Wazone.
Wazone. I like that.
Well, anyway, Rusty tweeted a little over an hour ago. Now, you always rip on me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You say these
Well,
things.
you don't.
You say these things. He says, well. Less than 6 hours from expected start time, and we have our first two models bringing 0 inches of snow to the area. Is that what the tweet says, John? 0 inches? Interesting. It's almost like...
So why are you trying to take credit for someone else's work?
What do you mean trying to take credit? I made this prediction weeks ago, days ago, whenever it was. You called me a moron. Now, an actual meteorologist.
In fairness,
is saying,
I'm going to call you a moron anyway.
Probably. He's saying our models have no snow, and you're still calling me an idiot. Interesting.
Well, that's just what the model. We have no idea yet.
Maybe
that's a model.
Maybe
models don't mean anything.
We're in a winter storm warning.
Maybe I have the models too.
You don't have any models. There's no models wanting to come around to your area.
Maybe I have models. So there you go.
You're a weatherman. Rusty Lord is a meteorologist.
Oh. So there you go.
We'll see.
Mike also adds WIBW in Topeka, Kansas.
It's another one.
There's not very many.
There's not many, but not very many. It predates, when they changed that over.
Money, Chris, I'm not going to read your email. That was very inappropriate.
Wow.
But thanks for sending it anyway.
Hey, guess who is trying to
Patrick Mahomes
help the NCAA with all of their legal and lawmaking issues?
President B. Bernie Sanders.
No.
Donald Trump.
No.
Donald Trump.
Nope.
Is that what he's running on in 2024?
Nope.
Herschel Walker.
Ron DeSantis.
Nope.
Megan Hunt.
Nope.
That'd be cool.
Tommy Tuberville.
Bingo.
Hey, nice.
Yep. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville is he is working on legislation to help the NCAA with NIL.
Oh, what a guy.
He did a Q&A with Savannah Bierman, who is a Senate correspondent. She's
Who does she write for?
For the National Journal. She's worked with USA Today, CNN.
Okay.
But she interviewed him about this. And here, I'm just going to read from some of her tweet thread.
Okay.
He, Tuberville, says the current problems with NIR are, quote, not about money. SCOTUS, Supreme Court, says that athletes can make money. I'm good with it. I was always good with that. But I think all of them should make money, not just a few. And that's the problem with how NIL is currently operating.
Well, is he talking about all football players or just all athletes? I mean, most football players.
I'm guessing he's talking athletes in general.
We talk
all
about
athletes.
these football rosters where like literally everybody is getting
right, but I
paid.
think he's talking about all athletes. He says solutions may begin with fixing the transfer portal.
Oh.
What can you do when you can leave and for what reasons you can transfer? He says he wants to revisit rules that say athletes should not be able to play the year after they transfer schools. How fascinating would it be
to go back to the old ways?
Well, But for the United States government, for Congress to pass laws, there's no way that would hold up in a court. No way to restrict how athletes could transfer. How is that the purview of the federal government? Under what guidelines would that ever work?
And because, I mean, wouldn't there be ramifications of like, what would that mean for a traditional student? Like, there'd have to be some trickle down, right? You know, like I had an ex who she went to one school to begin her college career and she transferred to the University of Nebraska. I mean, I know that we're talking about athletics here, but it would seem like that would cause some problems for someone in her situation as well.
Oh, and by the way, Tommy Tuberville was also asked about the holding call in the Super Bowl and agrees with it.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
But then he claimed he recruited Patrick Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech. He did not.
Yeah, laughable. He did not recruit Patrick.
By the way, there is a court case. Many court cases.
I was going to say, yeah.
But there is one that is getting a hearing today in a federal courtroom. That is a case. It's Johnson versus the NCAA. It's from a Villanova football player. Villanova has FCS football. Arguing that college athletes should have been paid an hourly wage like other student workers on their campus. You know, you have student workers who work in the cafeteria or work in the library or work selling tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They can get paid, but why can't the athletes get paid?
Who said this?
This is this Johnson versus the NCAA.
Oh,
case.
okay. Yeah.
This is a football player who used to play at Villanova.
Okay. You can get paid minimum wage for only 20 hours a week then, because that is what universities cap you at nowadays. You're not allowed to work 40 hours a week for a university because they believe that having a full-time job will interfere with your studies.
And we know that college football athletes are working way more than
40
hours per week.
So they're hearing more in this case today. The NCAA is trying to get it dismissed, and so they're going through the procedure of why the case should proceed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing will be decided today, but there are arguments being made today. And I was reading a tweet thread earlier from Nicole Auerbach of The Athletic about some of the Q&A going on between the judges and the NCAA's attorneys. One of the judges just asked NCAA counsel how it's possible that college athletes are not employees, given how much control the schools and NCAA has over them and their time demands. One of the judges says that an athlete is more valuable to a university than a work-study student working in the cafeteria or library.
Duh. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again here, and I'll say it again in the future. We are in the middle of this, and I can't wait to be at the end of it where we can just look back on everything that's happened, because there's just going to be more and more change, and that's the end game. It's obviously the end game. We're going to get to the end game. It's just going to take some more time. I have no doubt that we're going to get there. It's going to be so much easier.
I have no doubt we're going to get there. I still think it's a ways off.
I don't. I think that
I still think it's a ways off, only because the
more
NCAA,
Jaden Rashada stories are going to happen.
But
and that's the control that the schools and the coaches are going to demand that they have more control. And
I understand.
We can't keep farming this out to other people.
But I just because right now the NCAA is fighting so hard.
They fought so hard against NIL though, and then they
I know
up and changed.
They did, but
they fought against the playoff expansion. Then they did that.
But you see, but that's different. The actual, because again, NIL, all it's done is taken the dirty money and made it clean, right? But it still doesn't put any onus on the NCAA or the schools to actually have to pay them. It's the ultimate argument, the holy grail, if you will, is, are college athletes employees? That has always been the holy grail.
And the obvious answer is yes.
But that's the thing. That's the thing they're going to absolutely fight to the death. All of this other stuff, transfer portal, NIL, it's all around the periphery of it. I agree with you. We're eventually going to get to that point, but I think it's going to take a little while longer. We're still going to get these little piecemeal things. Heck, you got Tommy Tuberville now trying to pass laws. And he's just like, by the way, we have some breaking news on the Nebraska roster front.
Yes, we do.
When we come back, and dumb debates, a subject that we have been in violent disagreement on.
I'm intrigued.
that we will discuss during Dumb Debates on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Are you looking for tickets for the next big event? Be sure to check out my friends at ticketsforless.com. They're going to take care of you all of the best seats to the biggest local events, and they've also got great seats to events nationwide. Now, the one thing with ticketsforless.com that I love is they never charge per ticket fees. And you know what? With that, you can save hundreds of dollars over other resale websites. You can lock in a special discount right now when you use the special code THEZONE at checkout at ticketsforless.com. Simply enter the code THEZONE at checkout, and you're going to earn an exclusive listener discount. Memories for Life start at ticketsforless.com.
Mini bowling. What is it? It's Bob and Willie's Wonder Bowl. That's what is it. Bob and Willie's Wonder Bowl is half the size, but twice the fun of regular bowling. Smaller balls and shorter lanes means it's easier to play. Enjoy craft cocktails, beer pitcher specials, arcade games. From the kitchen, there's tavern-style pizza, fries, and wings, too. Plan your next party with mini bowling. Great for team building, birthdays, graduations, holiday parties, and more. Bob and Willie's Wonder Bowl, 38th and Bottom in Omaha, and coming soon to Lincoln. Click wonderbowling.com.
Are you the kind of person who feels sorry for anyone who works in an office? If you prefer to be outdoors in the sun, or the rain, or the hot, or the cold, then Quality Irrigation would like just 30 seconds of your time. If you have experience with irrigation systems and would love to work with a team that'll make your career more rewarding, Quality Irrigation is the kind of company that'll reward your hard work, smart ideas, and initiative. Visit quality-irrigation.com and click the Careers tab to apply today. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Join Genesis Health Clubs today for just $10 and save $20 per month every month with no contract. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs, here with the secret to healthy fitness habits. It's true that there are plenty of people who manage to stay consistent with exercise over lunch or after work, but the real secret is scheduling exercise into your daily routine. Pick a time, and that is your time to exercise. What is more important than your health? Nothing. So what time are you working out tomorrow? I'm inviting you to give it a try by joining Genesis Health Clubs for just $10 and save $20 a month, all with no contract. Whether your exercise is at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., schedule your exercise because it's the most important part of your schedule. And now life's little interruptions won't stand in your way. My dad always told us, don't put something off till tomorrow that you can do today. Make today your day for better health. Come into any Genesis location or go online and get started for just $10 and save $20 per month with no contract. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com to get started today.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call on the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Join up, join in. It's time to make good on those New Year's fitness resolutions by becoming a member at Croc Center Omaha. There you'll find a full range of fitness activities, from free weights to Zumba classes to an indoor track, pickleball, and more. Join now and save. We'll waive the fees, plus you'll get 1 month free with an annual paid in full or auto pay membership. The Croc Center is just moments away from the Kennedy Freeway and Q Street. Go to omahacroc.org for more information. That's omahakroc.org.
Your 15th ranked Omaha Maverick hockey team is second in the NCHC, and because of you, they're top 5 in attendance nationally with their first sellout since 2017. Get your tickets now for the final home series and senior weekend against number 6 St. Cloud on February 24th and 25th. Rock the Baxter and help the Mavs secure home ice for the NCHC playoffs. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tigs. 1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
All right, let the bloodletting begin. At some point, we were going to hear about players departing from the Nebraska roster.
Too many guys on the roster.
Confirmed by multiple sources now, I believe first reported by Mitch Sherman of The Athletic, but also added to by Evan Bland at omaha.com. Alante Brown and Hunter Anthony no longer listed on the Husker Online roster. Brown, of course, wide receiver. Hunter Anthony, the transfer lineman from Oklahoma State, who did start a game. And Brown had the third most catches, but neither on the online roster. So we are assuming that they are no longer with the program.
Yeah, I think the Brown lost the more important one, right? Like, Shape was running through. He was running through a bunch of players when we were talking about position groups that they did noticeably improve on, and then the ones where they didn't fill the needs. And he mentioned wide receiver. Maybe he thought that they should have added another guy or two. And I noticed, and this was like right as the news was coming down officially, I noticed he never mentioned Brown. So it made me wonder, like, I wonder if he knew about, Alante Brown leaving. So that's the room, man, where you want to talk about like concerns on the offensive side of the ball, even without knowing who the starting quarterback is going to be and knowing that the line had deficiencies. That wide receiver room is kind of a tough hang right now. Just not a whole lot of proven guys, and they're losing their most productive wide receiver in a few years.
So do I just drop you to a 3? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I do need to. We'll do that tomorrow in the crossover. Yeah, we'll have to adjust. I have to adjust with this news.
Well, with this loss now, really, you have one wide receiver back who made significant contributions. Marcus Washington had 31 catches last year.
And I do like his potential. I do like what he could be. He made some plays in the Iowa game, but he just was very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. But otherwise,
I realize Betts has some productivity from 2 years ago, but it wasn't. But from last year, and Garcia Castaneda had the touchdown in the
nice touchdown in the opener.
But then Scott Frost decided to kick an onside. But yeah. Washington is the only returning receiver who had any significant contribution to last year's team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a very, very, very different looking room. Also, totally unrelated, but we got trolled earlier.
We did?
I got trolled earlier.
You did?
College baseball got trolled earlier.
What happened?
Well, some fake account apparently attached to Tennessee baseball.
Oh, no, it's not real?
No, it is not real.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't have said, oh, no.
Wow.
No, I didn't mean it that way, you jerk.
You're the one that...
it's not real. I meant it from the journalistic standpoint. I did retweet it from the 1620 The Zone account.
It's not real.
Is it deleted?
It's a troll account. Someone purporting to be a breaking news reporter from Knoxville, Tennessee was reporting...
Well, that's good that it's not true.
That the Vandy Whistler had perished.
But he hasn't.
But he
hasn't.
Not
Gary perished.
So he is
good. That's great news.
He's still alive and still whistling.
He's still alive. In the words of Larry Bird.
Welcome back from the dead.
Hey, congratulations. I hope the weather's solid over there in Tennessee. That's good. So we got duped.
Yeah.
You got duped.
Well, many people did. I saw
Stitchhead
got duped. Our friend Eric Sorensen. Other people who covered college baseball got duped.
Well, I'm happy he's alive.
I feel bad now because I DM'd Kevin
Kugler.
Yeah, to tell him the news, and now I'm afraid he's going to be too distraught to call the game tonight because I've so jostled his emotions.
What game is he calling?
He's on BTN. I think he's in Indiana tonight.
You sound very excited.
I'm serious. I think he's in Indiana tonight.
Okay.
But now I'm afraid that I've distracted him. So
the
because
guy rose from the dead.
I know,
I'm pumped. This is gonna make my night even better.
He spent a good 20 minutes mourning this loss, and now I turn. Oh no, everything's fine. It's just that initial shock.
I have never mourned the loss of somebody and then have them, not be dead. I imagine that's an odd feeling where you're like, well, I guess they're dead. This is good news. I'm happy. So we'll get to see the Vandy Whistler this year at the College World Series.
If Vandy makes it.
Awesome. I can't wait.
If Vandy makes it.
By the way, OPS just announced that they are canceling in-person classes and school-related activities for tomorrow.
Why would they do that, Josh? I thought you told me the snow was done and the models showed no snow.
That's what Rusty said. As Rob Sims, my partner on Saturdays.
Are we sure that this isn't the same troll account that told us the Vandy Whistler's dead?
Well, no, this is Omaha Public Schools.
No. The Rusty Lord you were quote tweeting.
No, it was Rusty.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't the Vandy Whistler fake dead account?
I am 100% positive that it was not that. But as Rob Sims, I'll be calling the game with him. Creighton women versus Georgetown on Saturday. BEDN. He says guaranteed no accumulation in Omaha now. Hey, you say this, John, like they've never called a snow day early and gotten it wrong before.
You know, back in my day when we didn't have Twitter and you had to listen to the radio every morning to find out if school was canceled.
Holy God, how old are you?
We never canceled the day before. We always waited it out to see how bad it was.
Well, to be fair, they are still doing school tomorrow. It's just going to be over the internet.
See, back in my day, when you went to school, you went to school.
Yeah.
You didn't sit and stare at a computer.
Yeah, well, you're 100 years old. You didn't have computers back then.
And that's why we're smarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, we are.
Shangping Appreciation Club says, can we not pretend we're happy he is alive? That guy is the absolute worst.
Well, Josh was pretending, obviously.
What do you mean?
I am happy.
We get an extra baseball fan back in the world. Great news. Great news for the sport of baseball. They're losing too many fans to begin with. We don't want them to lose one of their own.
Well, coming up next, Dumb Debates.
Oh.
On 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, heads up, we've got a wreck that has the left shoulder blocked on the southbound JFK at F Street. A crash on the northbound JFK at F Street has traffic slowed down from L Street. If you're east on L Street, stop and go traffic between 36th and 25th, and then a crash on Ames at 48th, also causing delays. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by IBEW Local 22.
Does great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement sound good to you? IBEW has immediate openings for residential electricians. Invest in yourself with IBEW Local 22. Call John at 402-973-0613.
Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. It's that time of year again. Full tilt basketball season. Conference championships are on the line and lots of madness will be heating up. And DJ's is a great place to watch all the college and pro basketball action. And cheer for Creighton with the Blue Jay Lemonade, of course. Plus, there's always great daily food and drink specials at DJ's too. 7 metro area locations. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Dust. It's in the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It's also in your lungs. Let's fix that, shall we? Duck Defense Midwest offers a comprehensive system that cleans, disinfects, filters, and purifies the air. They'll make your home healthier and improve the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com right now for a special air duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. cleanairradio.com.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a pub. Throw. It would be nice to have a breakthrough.
Listen, listen, not to we did anyway, dumb debating.
John's computer sucks, Macs are the only way, dumb debating.
Fullbacks are running backs, hamburger steaks.
Josh is too dumb to eat a cupcake.
Mayo in a base.
Does John like Nebraska or Creighton?
Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Die for the pylon or give up on the plate, dumb debating.
Millennials are great and old should go away, dumb debating.
Rarely do we find any common ground.
Josh wants his food to be the best around.
Even if it gives him fatal flatulation. Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
When a tree falls down and nobody's around, you can bet your ass it won't make a sound. Water ain't wet, you know nothing about hydration. Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
Here we go at Dumb Debates. This is the time of the week where you take over the program by sending us your dumb debates, and it can be on anything. And we will debate them right here on the program. Ways you can get to us, same ways you always can. Hashtag Dumb Debates on Twitter. Send it to us in the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. When you use the hashtag Dumb Debates, it just makes it easier for dummies like us to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can send in your dumb debates to the Equitable Bank inbox, John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. And we'll archive the ones that we don't get to. So this has been a subject that we have debated on this program many times. And today, we learned that in the XFL and the USFL, they are making a rule change that many people believe is way overdue.
Oh, what are they doing? I don't know about this.
They are going to change the rule on fumbles through the end zone.
So what are they changing it to?
Currently, as you know, if you fumble the ball and it goes out the back or out the side of the end zone without a recovery,
the other team gets it.
Then the defense, it's a defensive touchback, and the defense gets the ball at the 20, or the defending team gets the ball at the 20-yard line.
And handsome, smart people all say that's stupid.
Well,
they say you should have the ball still.
I don't know if they're handsome. They're definitely not stupid.
Oh, okay.
It would return the fumble to the spot of the fumble.
Awesome. Wow. XFL did this?
And USFL.
You know what, John? I am a huge fan of these sports, and I have been for
I'm sure you
minutes
have.
Minutes now, John.
And Florio there on the Pro Football Talk was railing about this today and saying how this is overdue. This needed to be done.
Hell yeah, Florio. Good take, bro.
This is a bad idea.
Nope, it's not.
This is a bad idea. And I'm going to give you a reason why, Josh Peterson, and maybe, just maybe, you're going to see the light.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
One of the things we've debated about often on this program is diving for the pylon.
Dive for the pylon.
The reason why I am not a fan of it in most circumstances, not all circumstances.
Because you don't like players giving effort.
No. Oh. I don't like players being careless with the ball because of said rule.
So if
you, of course, like the dive for the pylon because it's exciting.
Yes, of course. Yes, why not? It's exciting. Of course it is.
Could I argue that because of the rule as it stands in the National Football League and in college, in all major, respected forms of football, it makes the dive for the pylon a risk, a danger.
Mm-hmm.
It gives excitement to it. Imagine if we took away the fumble through the end zone isn't a defensive touchback. All of a sudden, the dive for the pylon becomes, it's consequential in the sense that you can score a touchdown, but it becomes less exciting because you've just taken the danger out of it. Imagine watching Evel Knievel jump the fountains at Caesar's Palace, and instead of having to hit the ramp on the other side, he's just going to land into a big old catch net. Makes the whole excitement There's no danger. There's no excitement.
You wanted to see a guy die on television.
No, I want to see him live, but I want to see the element of danger. By changing this rule, now there's no risk involved. Now the dive for the pylon, just another play.
What's the question?
Wouldn't you say, Josh, that by this rule, that's what makes the dive so exciting, because you know that the player with the ball is taking a risk. He's taking a risk. He's taking a chance. He's realizing
wrapping his arms around the back.
Exactly. And by changing this rule, we're going to make the dive for the pylon, it's just another play.
Well, okay, let me turn this around on you before I answer. Shouldn't you like diving for the pylon then? Because it does add excitement. It does add risk.
But it won't.
No,
there's no risk.
No, in its current form, why do you not like it if it does have the excitement and the risk?
No, I don't like it in certain circumstances. If it's like a fourth down play, if it's a play where you have to have a touchdown in that second, absolutely I'm for it.
But can't you think
when
that
you're
it's
being
stupid
careless with the ball?
See, can't you think it's dumb to do, but also it's really cool because there is the risk element? That's why it's actually exciting.
Right, but as a fan of, like, when I see my team do it.
But what if it's not your team? You get so triggered if it's Texas A&M who does it.
Well, because it's stupid, because you should take care of the ball. I think it should only, just like jumping Caesar's Palace's fountain, should only be done by trained professionals, and only occasionally when the conditions are
You don't want me to do it? You don't want me to ride over a large cavern?
I mean, I would kind of like to watch that.
Wow.
You volunteered to do it.
I mean, you're right. It does take away.
It would take away the element of danger.
Yeah. But I like it because it improves upon the rule.
Why does it improve upon the rule?
Because I just think it's a stupid rule. It's just
Why is it a stupid rule?
Because when you fumble out of bounds elsewhere, you don't lose the ball. I would rather them have a fumble out of bounds be given to the defense or switch it like the USFL is doing, because then it would feel more consistent. I just don't know why that area has this inconsistency of
because it's the end zone. The end zone is different and special. That is where your goal is. That is where you're trying to attain. The boundaries between the goal lines are different than the boundaries around the end zone, because the end zone is the holy grail. The end zone is the end game. That's where the magic happens.
Indeed.
Thus, the rule does need to be different for the end zone than it does for the field of play. That's why I've always liked the rule, because
you just don't like the players doing it.
Because it treats the end zone as its own special entity, and you're not rewarding a team for just losing the ball. The goal of football, I mean, it used to be in football, you literally had to touch the ball down in the end zone.
And that's why it's called a touchdown.
That's why it's called a touchdown. Now we, of course, don't have to do that, but the end zone has always been this special area. And so it's treated differently in the rule books than the other 100 yards in play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've always liked the rule, because it's another area where, hey, if you're the offensive team, you need to take care of the football.
Yeah. It's definitely a quirk.
It is a quirk.
I wonder, in all seriousness, if we will see more, because Jordan says that means more people giving it their all diving for the pylon. I wonder if we will see more players do this, because we already see a ton of players do it regardless of the danger of it.
Oh, why? I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Really? And one of the things that there was the Sunday night game,
the
Raiders and the Cowboys, when Derek Carr stupidly tried to dive from the 5-yard line for the pylon.
I thought it was a great move.
It was just an absolutely stupid play that was unnecessary.
Now they cut him.
And, of course, he lost the ball, fumbled it, hit the pylon, goes out of bounds to the end zone. Dallas gets the ball. I don't know. I just think it would encourage more of that to happen, but it then would make it less special when it happens. It's the element of danger that makes the dive for the pylon exciting.
Definitely.
But if you put the safety net on there, then
you and I wouldn't have
cares?
debated. Yeah, we wouldn't have debated it over the years.
Who cares?
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. It adds excitement.
So there you go. USFL, XFL. That's why you guys will always be an inferior product.
Travis says, hear me out. Offense fumbles the ball through the back of the end zone. Ball is placed back at the original line of scrimmage. That would suck if you had gained like 60 yards on the play. That'd be pretty funny.
I mean, honestly, that's as random and as arbitrary as giving it to the defense.
Yeah.
But again, I'm looking at it, and remember, football is such an offensive game these days. Do we need another rule to benefit the
honestly,
offense?
that's the best argument for not changing the rule. Is that it would?
Why do we need another rule to benefit offense?
Yeah, it would benefit the offense. That's fair. Trent texts in a question that I swear to God is not from me. And you'll know it when I read it.
No, I'm sure.
This came up Sunday with some neighbors of mine after multiple cocktails. Would you rather be buried alive or burned to death?
Jeez.
Indeed.
I can tell who was at Stibbs' Super Bowl watch party. Let's brighten the mood. Would you rather die in a fire or die under a pile of dirt?
Oh, man, both sound horrible. Dan, do you have a take?
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one, actually.
Pretty easy, says Dan.
Yeah. So, burned to death. And here's why.
Speed?
Yes. Number one, speed.
But man,
because
the pain of it. Oh.
You're going to be in a lot less pain than you are being buried alive.
Yeah,
because I assume the whole point of the question is you have to die one of these two ways.
Yeah.
So, would you rather die getting slowly crushed by the amount of dirt, concrete, sand, whatever they're burying you in, just going down on top of you? Or would you want it to be over in probably under 30 seconds?
But would it be? Because what if you get burned like Johnny did in The Outsiders, and he ends up lying upside down on that hospital bed for several days, and he's like dying. And, stay cool, pony boy. I mean, he died in a fire. He suffered for several days.
Dan, what if I threw out this? You're buried alive in a casket. Does that change your mind on this? No, I guess it wouldn't because you want to die fast. Where you're in a casket, so you are
if I'm
prescient. You're not getting crushed. You're just there losing air to breathe.
If I'm still just straight up dying, it's still burning alive.
Wow. Now, but here's
Big
the thing.
burned alive guy.
There's not.
Light me on fire.
The pain is less intense when you're crushed under, when you're like buried under a bunch of dirt, right? You're suffocating.
So. Yes, you're suffocating. That does sound pretty bad.
Oh, I mean,
you're literally breathing in
questions.
and out, and you're slowly being able to breathe in less.
Being
and
burned
less
alive
and less.
sounds. Trent adds a casket was the scenario we had in mind. So you're not just under dirt. You're in something. It's like in Kill Bill.
I am never going to those Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
Then I still 100% would rather, if it's just straight up dying, I'd rather get lit on fire, because in a casket you're just slowly losing air, and you're like, I'm
so terrible.
You're like, this is the worst possible thing.
Davis texted us some extra info. He says, I think if you're burned alive, your eyes are the consistency of marshmallows and burn faster than the rest of you, so you're still alive as they ooze out of your face.
God, see.
Also,
no!
if you're burned alive at one point, your body is perfectly medium rare. Yeah, bury me.
This is terrible.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
This is. You know what? You know what the Super Bowl parties last year didn't do? Talk about stuff like this, because everybody was happy. This is why my team needs to win more often. We don't come up with dark, disgusting topics like this in the middle of the game, because the game is so good and so balanced, and the right team wins.
Sam says, when you die from burning alive, the actual way you die is inhaling fire. Well, there you go. A positive. You inhaled the fire.
Great. That's awesome.
Man, all right. Well, that was quite the dumb debate question.
Jeez. All right. I've got to change this.
I got a normal one for you. Jay Skirtot says, at the grocery store, who is responsible for putting up the divider between the transactions? The person actively purchasing, or the one who's next in line? And are you bothered if the person in front puts it up? So you're in line, your stuff's getting scanned, you have a few things left. I come up, it's my turn. I think it's my turn because I am up next. I do not think that you are required to do that. If you do, I'm not offended by it.
Yeah, if the person in front does it, but remember, the person in front, there's already a buffer there because you probably got maybe the cart is between you, right?
Yeah, there might be.
And you might still be unloading some stuff, right?
Yep.
Or you're getting, because nowadays people bag their own stuff. You might be at the end already pre-bagging. Sure. I think it should be the responsibility of the next person in line to put the divider.
Yep. Every time I walk up, there occasionally someone will do it, and I'm like, all right, cool. But
and again,
I'm not going to be triggered by it.
Yeah.
But usually I expect to do it myself.
Right.
Yeah.
because you're trying to get maybe you're fumbling around with your coupons.
Coupons?
People still use those.
Wow, I haven't. I haven't.
Are they still in the Sunday paper?
I use like digital coupons at Popeyes. Download their app. They have great digital coupons.
I bet they work just as fast as the drive-through does.
I do the 5-piece. You
How
get
come
the
I can't-
5-piece, 2
how come
sides,
I
2
can't
biscuits.
download my coupon on my
It would
handheld
explain.
phone.
Maybe that's why it slows down a little bit because they're a little confused. Maybe that's what's going on.
Oh, they're
there.
confused, all right.
They're a little confused.
I personally think sometimes Popeyes people go in with the best intentions, and they actually get trained to be bad at their jobs.
But man, that food is so good.
And tiny.
And nice and large size.
Tiny pieces.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Well, speaking of pieces of chicken, Ronnie says,
oh,
not sure if this has been tackled, but clearly flats are better than drummies when eating wings.
Hell yes, they
No.
are.
No.
I don't understand the argument for drummies.
I don't understand the argument for flats. Drummies are little drumsticks, and there's a lot of meat on there.
There's a ton of meat on the flats.
But there's that flap of fat.
Where?
It's on the top.
Yeah, on the edge of the
that is
edge of the flat.
There's a thing of like literal muscle or whatever on a little drumstick that you can't
Well,
eat.
the muscle's the meat that you're actually eating.
Okay, you know what I meant, dork. There's like a part that's like
Yeah, but you literally have to go through that ripple, where the skin is kind of and it's all.
So here's what you do: you put it down and you move your fingers, and then all the stuff goes off the bone. Yum.
Are we arguing flats versus drums?
That's what we're arguing.
Drums, easier to eat. Flats, more fun to eat.
Flats. Which meat do you like better?
I'm personally a flats guy.
Hell yeah,
because
Dan.
it's more fun to eat.
Good take.
No.
Michael says drummies. Jordan says boneless better than both. No bone to worry about. Less mess. That's a bad.
Boneless wings aren't wings.
They're not
Boneless
wings. They're
wings aren't
It's
wings.
tenders.
It's just chicken nuggets, but
Yeah.
I don't care. It's chicken. You eat whatever you want, but no, drummies all day. No. Drummies all day. I mean, I won't turn down the flats.
See, that's why you and I would be great wing buddies.
I agree.
We could just trade.
I agree.
I'll take all the flats. You can take all my drums.
I will say one thing though. I do hate. A weekend ago, I had wings at a not to be named establishment, and I got only one. I think it was mostly drums and
you
like
didn't ask
2
for
or
that,
3
though.
flats. I
That's-
didn't ask for it.
Yeah, if you ask for it and they give it to you, cool. But if
If it's like
Yeah, I
one
don't
or
like
the
that.
other, and I only get one of the styles, I always get a little bit ticked off about that.
I do too, because I didn't ask for that.
I want a 50-50.
I
I want
also
it to
think-
be at least a ratio.
As you know, I love my wings crispy.
Yes.
I really love my wings crispy. The drums get crispier better than the flats, again, because of that fold of.
You think they get crispier?
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
flats get way crispier than drums.
No.
Because it's flat, so it sits easier on the grill.
Well, I mean, crispier.
What part did you I need to see what you're talking about. Flat wings. What part are you discussing here? What part are you discussing?
That edge right there. That edge.
What?
That
You don't
edge.
eat that part?
Well, I do, but it's just it's not it's mostly, just whatever. It's not meat.
Wow. I mean, it's just a part of the skin, isn't it?
I know, but I don't.
I've never had an issue with that part.
Well-
So you talking about this the ribbed for her
Yeah.
pleasure part?
Yeah, the rib for her pleasure part.
Wow. I've never been negative about that. Interesting. I think you were talking about something on the top of it.
No. Well, the top's not. I mean, it's just drummies are far better.
Wow, interesting.
Far
Severe
far-
says flats. He's a flats guy.
Fine, great. That's why we make good wing buddies. You can have all the assy flats, and I'll have the superior drums.
Money Chris calls me a monster for liking flats. Wow, monster. I wouldn't go that far.
Yep.
Just
I mean, I wouldn't go that far
It's
either.
still chicken.
I'll still eat it, but I far prefer the drummies.
Also, there's some real chicken wing etiquette that goes into eating flats too.
Oh,
Like there are certain things that I think people shouldn't do when they eat flats that just drives me crazy.
Like
the people
what?
who
Like what?
when you push all the meat down and you twist out one of the bones and then you pick it up by that other bone and then you do it all off.
Mm-hmm.
Grow up. You're not a child anymore.
What?
Push the meat down, stick it in your mouth, and
okay,
suck it off like it's a lollipop.
That's what I do. Jordan says, "Hit the porn music, Dan." Yeah, we're veering into very specific
Yes,
territory.
we are.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just take it and I push
I'll say
it
it
all
again.
off, or I just dip it and then I rip it all off. Man, now I'm craving
El
wings.
Scorcho says the rib for her pleasure part is the best part of the flat.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't like this part.
Disagree. I think that's what makes it the weakest part.
Wow. I couldn't believe I had no idea that was. Do other people dislike that part of the wing too?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Also,
Zachary
do you
says,
like drums just because it makes you feel like a giant king, John?
No.
It always makes me feel like I'm a giant.
I mean, it is easier to eat. Let's face it. It's easier to eat the wing than the drum than the flat.
Jordan says, "Suck it off like it's a lollipop." Yeah, that was quite the quote there, Dan. Zachary says, "Are wings actually wings or half wings?" They are. Yeah, you get 12 wings. You're actually getting 6 wings.
Yeah, because the full wing is
both the pieces
is not there.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing that for the longest time, people
they tossed it.
They exactly
Wild.
from the generations that used to eat every part of the animal.
Dude, yeah, they went through
It
the
was
Great
like,
Depression.
these chicken wings, blah. They throw them out.
What was wrong with those
And then
people?
somebody got starving hungry one night in a blizzard in Buffalo, New York.
My friends are over.
Well, I got a bunch of wings. Let's just fry them up. And magic was made.
And these are
And
the
then
same
Buffalo
people who
Wild
eat
Wings
gizzards.
ruined it for me on Sunday.
How about Severe? I'm now heading to Popeyes for ghost pepper wings. Look at that. God,
Cool,
Michael.
you're going to have to order like 5 orders of them to get any meat out of them.
Stop. Wow, look at this from Douglas. Back in the early days of wings, the 90s, had a bro who would break the drum, bone in half, suck out the marrow. We all did it. Douglas, what the hell?
God,
that's
idiot.
gross.
These sound like my grandparents. I told you this story, haven't I? Watching my dear departed grandparents and my father eat fried chicken is one of the most carnivoristic exercises
Sucking
ever.
the bones.
They would clean every single solitary part of every single solitary bone. There wasn't anything but bone left.
This, speaking of Severe, I remember one of the times I went to Popeyes with him. This is like the first year I ever met him. And he was making fun of white people, apparently not your parents, though, for how they ate chicken and how they would leave meat on. Like he brought up Stacy.
The Lippincotts were legendary. When they would come over and we would have chicken, and it was usually the superior fried chicken of KFC. Well, we didn't have Popeyes in Fremont.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I would sit there and watch my grandmother. It was like watching a lion devour an impala. It was just like just every little solitary piece. Nothing was left. And then my dad would do the same thing. And then Dad would actually reach over and grab the pieces of chicken that I hadn't finished, and he would finish them for me.
That's disgusting. I hate finishing food that somebody else has already like bitten off of. That's nasty. I don't know why.
Some of us had to
He
do
would
it to
literally
stay alive in
grab the
college.
drumstick and say, "Oh, there's this whole ball," and rip it off. It's like, that's not even meat.
Casey Mike's mom says, Dan is speaking my language about meat and the bone. Dan, people are into your push the meat down and suck it off like a lollipop quote. By the way, Severe has added John's grandparents were black. That's awesome.
No, they were born in the depression, or they were lived through the depression, and man, did they clean. They cleaned every part.
I will not eat chicken on the bone with Michael. Oh, that's great. Man, I want wings or fried chicken tonight. Man, I'm hungry.
Every part, man. It was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But as a little kid, it was
nasty.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
It was nasty. All right, coming up next, who are you rooting for, Creighton fans?
Oh!
Big game tonight between Xavier and Marquette. And I'm not sure if we can come to a consensus on who the Jays want to win this game.
I'll give you an answer.
On 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
If Mahomes was a horse in the Kentucky Derby, do you think he would have got to run in the Derby the way he was limping?
One-way ticket to the glue factory for Patrick Mahomes.
Take him out back.
Well, here's the advantage that we humans have over horses. We can communicate our wants and intentions. Horses can't be like, look, I want to run through this pain.
I can go, coach.
I want to run. I have to do this. This is important to me.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Winter storm warnings are in effect for the Omaha Metro. Light to moderate snow possible for this evening around 6 o'clock and throughout the overnight. Light snowfall should be tapering off around daybreak Thursday. By then, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible for the Omaha Metro. Higher amounts down to the south. By the afternoon for your Thursday, partly cloudy skies, high temperature of 29. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KTV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, looks like the right lane is closed if you're south on 144th at I-80 for some roadway damage. Keep to the left. Expect delays through there. If you're east on L Street, stop-and-go traffic between 36th and 25th. Also delays on Cornhusker Road for both directions between 25th and Fort Crook Road, and some slow going on westbound Dodge between 680 and 120th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lawrence and Gardens.
The latest exhibit at Lawrence and Gardens is making a big splash. Don't miss the fantastic sculptures of Washed Ashore, Art to Save the Seas, on display through May 14th. To plan your family's art adventure, visit lawrenceandgardens.org.
Creighton coverage on The Zone is presented by Barry Law. At Barry Law, we fight alongside those who choose to fight back. Call Barry Law at 402-999-7777 or visit barrylawfirm.com. At Barry Law, we're in it to win it.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized Solaire air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more drive industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships. Let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air system today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Hi, friends. Kent Pavelka courtside getting ready for this year's matchup between the Average Roofing Companies and the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The Average Roofers are just that, average at best, not very impressive. The Rooferees, above and beyond the opponent, more dependable, service that exceeds the norm, good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. You know them, you love them, and they're ready to win for you. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Duck Defense Midwest makes your home healthier and improves the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com for a special duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. That's cleanairradio.com.
Do you know a high school senior who'd like a $12,000 college scholarship? Well, be sure to tell them that the Salvation Army is now seeking nominations for the DJ's Hero Award scholarships. We're looking for Nebraska high school seniors who have overcome adversity and who are doing the most good in their communities. The application deadline is March 8th. Nominate your hero today. Just go to djsheroapp.org for more information. That's djsheroapp.org. djsheroapp.org.
Your Omaha hockey team hits the road for a weekend series at Miami this Friday and Saturday. Pregame is at 5:30 p.m. Friday. Puck drops at 6:05. It's UNO at Miami this weekend on your home for Maverick Hockey. News Talk 1290 Coil. You're listening to Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Go Big Red, baby.
On 1620 The Zone.
I just realized we still have $25 in Bronco Bucks to give away. Broncos burgers. So be listening. We're going to give that away here within the next few minutes. I don't know how.
What if we had someone call in and tell us why they like flats or sucking off the bone?
Because that.
Yeah, make him say "suck it off the bone" like a lollipop.
There, boom. Suck it off the bone like a lollipop. What caller? How about caller 7?
Typical Josh.
Right now, caller 7. You have to
And
say
yet-
Dan's phrase. And you win $25 to Broncos. Suck it off the bone like a lollipop.
Caller 7.
Caller 7 right now. 402-951-1620. Congrats on the Broncos.
Congrats on
$25. Man, now Broncos. That sounds awesome. They have fried
Broncos.
chicken. You could suck that off the bone.
You could.
Mm.
You could.
Mm.
So tonight you have Xavier and Marquette.
Who are you rooting for?
Who are the Jays rooting for? As it stands right now, Marquette is 12-3. They have a game in hand. They still have a week off coming up. In fact, the week off happens right after this game. And then they don't play again until next week against the Blue Jays. Xavier's 11-3, Creighton's 11-4, Providence is 11-4. So the Jays are one back in the loss column. They are a full game back of Marquette as it stands currently. But who are you rooting for? And initially, at first glance, I was like, you're rooting for Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
You're rooting for Xavier. But, and there's a great website that if you like to fantasy book your own college basketball, I'm going to retweet it here from the @1620 The Zone account. But if you want to do it for any conference, any of the major conferences in basketball, Nebraska ball fans, if you want to try to figure out, how Nebraska can get to a double bye, this is the place to go.
Oh, this is okay. So this is where that screenshot was coming from earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can plot out the rest of the remaining conference games, pick the winners and the losers to figure out what the conference tournament bracket is going to look like next month.
Okay.
Well, and what it does for you is it pre-fills out who they think is going to win and lose based on.
Oh, have you clicked the button on what happens if?
Oh yes, I've clicked the button.
So this is who they predict to win and lose, and if you do that, calculate seed, Creighton's the one.
Right.
The
default setting right now for who they think is going to win and lose has Creighton winning out starting this Saturday at St. John's.
Okay.
And if Marquette wins tonight and you hit the old calculate seeds, Creighton and Marquette would finish at 16-4 each, Xavier and Providence at 15-5. Now,
if you switch it though to Xavier and you leave everything else the same and you click it, you know what happens?
Then Xavier wins.
So that gives us the answer, right? It's that simple?
Not quite, because if you notice,
not quite that
if
easy.
you notice, based on the scenario where Creighton wins out and Marquette wins tonight, the reason why Creighton would beat Marquette in the tiebreaker would be based on the net ranking, because it's like the fourth tiebreaker down. Creighton and Marquette would pass the first three tiebreakers, and it would go to who has the best net ranking. Currently, Creighton is at 13, Marquette is at 14. Now, so if that were to hold, then yes, Creighton would win the tiebreaker. But would it hold? That's the question. That we don't know, because we can't quite predict exactly how the net is going to look. So the reason why I'm a little, and the other reason why I'm a little hesitant on Marquette winning is because Xavier is still without Zach Freemantle. We're not sure exactly how long, and I understand. In fact, I just saw a tweet from I think it was John Fanta, or he retweeted it. Xavier is also not going to have two key bench guys tonight. Desmond Claude and Cam Kraft are out for tonight's game. So basically, Xavier's going without a bench tonight.
And who did they have winning that game again? Xavier or Marquette?
They had Marquette winning. But if, again, like you said, if you switch it over to Xavier and then everything plays out as predicted,
Creighton is theoretically
then Creighton would be the 2 seed. But here's the difference. Xavier, of course, has an extra game to play. Xavier also has to play Villanova. Xavier.
And they do have, who do they have? They have Xavier.
They have Xavier
beating Villanova.
Right.
Okay.
Now, in this scenario, they do have Xavier losing to Providence. So you still have to find another loss, but Xavier also plays at Seton Hall. I find they have two more challengeable games, we'll call them. I won't
It's a challengeable game.
Or a losable game. More than Marquette does. And remember, this scenario is spelling out that Creighton wins out, which means they would beat Marquette next week. Marquette, as we pointed out last week when we compared the finishing record or finishing schedules, has the easiest finishing schedule. After tonight and after next week, they close out with DePaul at home, Butler on the road, and St. John's at home. That's the easiest finishing slate. So if Marquette makes it to the weekend of the 25th and 26th in first place, it's going to take a pretty significant upset.
Yeah.
For them not to win. So that's why I almost think you want Xavier.
Because you think it's more volatile with Xavier.
I think it's more volatile with Xavier based on their injury situation and their remaining schedule than it is for Marquette.
Understandable.
And again,
I think you presented a good argument why to root for Xavier tonight.
The biggest question is, again, how long is Zach Freemantle out? We're not sure about that. Last report said he could be back by the beginning of March, but does that mean he's full go for the last couple of games of March or not? I will make this prediction, no matter what happens. I think, just like last Friday night, Xavier got upset by Butler. I think we have another one of those out there for one of the top 4 teams. I think there's another one out there, whether it's another upset by Butler, maybe Butler stunning Marquette at home, or maybe a St. John's. I mean, Creighton should be on upset alert this week. And I just have a feeling I just have a feeling there is another stunner coming for one of the top 4 teams in the Big East. So
I think Xavier's the play, and
I'm gonna go 52% Xavier.
And I bet if you injected the program, as in Creighton, with the truth serum, I'm guessing they're saying the same thing. Probably. I think you laid out a great reason why. Again, because Xavier can lose more.
I think Xavier has more losable opportunities than
this
Marquette.
was just gaming the scenario from the expectation and why their reasoning for, you open this website, it has these teams winning and these teams losing. What was their rationale? Is it their own little, what are they going off of? Like Ken Palm?
It doesn't say.
So let's just assume it's that. That does not take into account the upsets.
For future games, teams favored by the Sagarin rating or with a higher real-time RPI are selected by default.
Okay, so there you go.
So this is using an analytics to predict Creighton's going to beat St. John's, and Creighton's going to beat Marquette, and Creighton's going to beat Villanova.
But as you just said, that doesn't take into account that crazy things continue to happen.
Crazy things continue to happen.
Yeah.
And that, again, was the bummer of last night. Creighton, if they would have been able to win last night, they would virtually be able to control their own destiny. But they lost that ability last night.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the moment, they have to win out and still need help. Though theoretically, they could win out, Marquette could win, and as long as Creighton stays above them in the net ranking, they would get the number 1 seed. They'd still get a raise of banner because they would tie for the league championship, but they wouldn't get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Thus the bragging rights like Creighton got in 2020. To me, they were the only regular season champs.
They're the 1 seed. I don't know why it's a debate. They're the 1 seed.
Oh.
That's how I know. It's just, it shouldn't be a debate. That's stupid.
I agree.
It's like Nebraska claiming to be 2008 Big 12 North champions. No. Did you go to the conference title game? No. I don't care if there's a tiebreaker. Missouri went to there because they won the division. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Dan, who was the winner? Who sucked the meat off the bone?
Eric Lundstrom.
Good job, Eric.
And I will say, was excited to say it, and I liked his passion for it.
We love the passion and the excitement.
So I'm guessing he was one of those guys that like the Assy Flats.
Assy Flats?
That could be a good band name, by the way.
It could be. Yeah.
I think he was more excited for $25 in Broncos bucks.
Well,
hell yeah.
That's what I would be excited
I would
for.
Scream it into the phone for that.
That's what I would be excited for. Assy Flats sounds like the Nerg Live ripoff of Rascal Flats.
I was going to say the same thing. Assy Flats. Coming up soon, it's Assy Flats. Here's the newest on 101.9 The Keg.
Excellent troll, or was it an unnecessary troll?
Oh.
on Valentine's Day. That and other items coming up in content next on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. It is, of course, February, and we just celebrated Valentine's Day. We often think of this month as the month of love. Well, February is Love Your LASIK month at Kugler Vision, and they are celebrating throughout this month, even though we are now past Valentine's Day, with special LASIK savings just for you. You can get more details at kuglervision.com. Whether it is waking up, seeing everything that you love in your life, your spouse, family, favorite hobbies, or just enjoying things that you have to do on a daily basis, sharpening up that drive to work, being able to see the signs clearer than you ever have before, or maybe enjoying a book unlike you have in previous years, whether it is getting readers for that, whether it's the tough prescription, astigmatism, they're able to help you out. All 7 FDA-approved forms of modern vision correction, so they probably have one that will fit your eyes and how you operate on a day-to-day basis. 402-558-2211 or at their website, kuglervision.com.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection, plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street, next to Covey's.
Here's this week's Maverick Minute. Number 16 Omaha Maverick hockey skated to a draw with Colorado College in the series finale last Saturday night. The Mavs fall to 3-10 in the Summit League. They head to Ohio for a 2-game series with Miami this weekend. Finally, the Omaha softball squad swept the Unidome tournament this weekend with a 3-1 win versus Drake for their 5th straight win. And that's your Maverick Minute on your home for the Mavs. News Talk 1290, 1180 The Zone, and 1620 The Zone.
Ready to revolutionize your home's look? Smash those outdated windows and upgrade with J-Tech Construction, the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. For a limited time, qualified buyers enjoy no payments and 0 interest for a year. Plus, receive a free triple paint upgrade. Trust the best in the business and see why so many homeowners choose us. Contact us now and take the first step toward a stunning home transformation. The official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers, J-Tech Construction, your exterior experts.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72. Be a part of the Host Coffee team today. If you'd like to work for a trusted and loyal family-owned company that understands the needs of working families, Host Coffee has your opportunity. Apply at hostcoffee.net.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had 2 challenges: improve their brand presence and message, and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. The result? An integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to kansascitysteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEBNOW1. That's 877-WEBNOW1.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn.
Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
You know, all this excitement today, and I have failed to mention, before he tossed his cookies into the trash can,
yes, we haven't brought this up.
Producer Josh announced on Twitter today, we are going to have on February, is it the 23rd?
Next Thursday.
A week from Thursday, a Cocaine Bear watch party. And there's going to be a chance for you, the people, to win tickets to join us. And we're going to attempt, we haven't cleared it yet with Kent, but we're going to attempt to do a live movie club review right after the film.
Yeah, and you'll be gone on Friday, so it'd be perfect because we could re-air it the next day.
Yep.
So everyone who wasn't there could hear it.
And it's ACX Cinema 12 Plus.
We were there
in Gretna / Elkhorn.
We were there in 2021, the day before Thanksgiving. Can't wait. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So the program's gonna be there for the show.
I think like all the shows are gonna be there, right? Like everyone wanted to do something.
I don't think the morning show's going to be there. That's early.
I think they're going to join us for the watching of the movie.
No. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant their shows.
No.
Be
Yeah,
there.
they're going to be there.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet's going to be there.
Yeah.
Gary and Nick are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be there.
Indeed.
Happer's going to be there.
Josh will be there.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. It's going to be a great day.
Yes. So be listening starting next week. And it's going to be a quick ramp up because the movie is next Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Cocaine Bear.
Awesome.
All right, Dan, content.
All right. So NBC is interested in bringing the NBA back into the fold. Are you two ready for a little?
3, 4.
Nice. Now, here's the part where you say your stupid stuff about this.
No. Well, first of all, yeah, it's not as good as the old CBS thing. But secondly, Fox Sports already bought the rights to this, and they're running it for college basketball.
But NBC still does. They own it to some degree because during the Olympics,
Well, I'm not saying they couldn't use it, but because now Fox is using it, doesn't that, you know what I mean?
It'd be interesting. It'd be weird. I hope they get it. That'd be cool. I loved NBC covering the NBA when I was a kid.
You realize that Mike Fratello and Marv Albert, he's not going to be doing games for him anymore.
Well, if ESPN lost it, they could get Breen back. You know, they have the relationship with Turner. They could have the Turner guys. I'm all in. See, why do you always do this?
Fun fact.
First of all, you hate the NBA, so why are you?
No, remember I have cable now.
The NBA on NBC would be so much better because they've been pushing out trash lately in their primetime lineup. So, just fill that up with some basketball games.
Basketball.
Well, it's not like any network has anything to say about programming. Why can't we put the game? Why can't it be on Fox? Then they can keep the round ball rock.
Yeah, good question.
Why can't it be on PBS? The
Sure, why not?
NBA on PBS.
Sure, why not?
Gonna learn to get schooled.
And then no one would watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't hate on PBS.
They
have a Create channel. All my old Ina Garten specials are on there. I love it.
Dan, what the hell?
What?
So some people have this thing called an antenna for their TV.
I know what an antenna is. Trust me.
Yeah, he's 100.
And so I get all 4 PBS channels. It's great.
God.
But moving on, last night versus Michigan, Wisconsin's final made basket came with 10:45 left in the game. They missed their final 14 shots, and they still beat Michigan by 5. college basketball, ain't it a great sport?
Yeah, where was your tweet last night? This is why college basketball's better than the NBA.
I said college basketball. I wasn't including that assy Big Ten.
Look at this. John, that's almost a full quarter in the NBA. Imagine an NBA team going a full quarter without
And
scoring
how cool
and
would
winning
that
by
be? It'd
5.
be so different. It'd be so unique.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. Different, unique. Horrible is the other way I would describe it.
Well, how do we know this just isn't a Big Ten problem?
Well, it might be a Big Ten problem. It might.
That is amazing, though, that they didn't score a basket. Now, I'm guessing they got a lot of points at the foul line.
Yeah, you'd assume so. I'll be honest, didn't watch the game. That's just going to link a tweet, so didn't watch the game.
That is incredible.
Yeah, not great.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Notre Dame had their new OC in their sights. Andy Ludwig was their target, to the point where he even came to a Notre Dame hockey game with Marcus Freeman. He'll be staying in Utah, though. Why? The school wouldn't pay his buyout? What's this all about?
Man, you're trying to hamstring my guy, Marcus Freeman. You know, while LSU is just giving Brian Kelly whatever he wants, including an extra $1 million for his foundation that he wasn't supposed to get. Cheating, obviously. Notre Dame trying to hamstring Marcus Freeman. This is so dumb.
It's stupid.
Why? Okay, if they had to know that there was a buyout.
Correct.
You had to have done your due diligence. And even if they thought, well, we'll be able to talk them down. You always have to prepare for the possibility that you can't talk them down. So why do you even go through the process of letting your coach interview him and then hire him, and then you cut him out at the knees?
Taking him to a hockey game, and it was obvious. It wasn't like he was snuck in through the back door. He's sitting there right there with Marcus Freeman.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And like as a lot of people have pointed out, $2.8 million buyout for a coordinator is high, but Notre Dame can afford that.
Absolutely, they can. And if they're trying to make a statement, great, make a statement.
Congratulations.
But then you should have told Freeman at the beginning, hey, his buyout's too high. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
That's
honestly
a terrible look for Notre Dame.
It's this type of stuff that it's like, that's what, like we always say, it just means more to the SEC, but it does. Like they wouldn't blink at this.
No.
They'd pay it.
Eric Bieniemy is interviewing for the Commanders' offensive coordinator job. Speaking of football, would this be a downward move given it is the same job, but for a far lesser franchise?
Yes and no. Obviously, it would be a downward move in that he wouldn't be with the Super Bowl champs anymore. He wouldn't be coaching Patrick Mahomes anymore, et cetera, et cetera. It would be an upgrade for him, though, because he would actually get to call plays. He does not call the plays. He helps design the offense, as Andy Reid has pointed out many, many times, but he does not get to call the plays in Kansas City. And I think that has been, we always wonder, why hasn't he gotten a job? I have to imagine that is a bit of a reason why. To what degree, I have no idea. So yeah, it's both. It's a positive and a negative at the same time. It's just in the eye of the beholder. I think for him, it'd be a great opportunity to get to call plays, but obviously it would also suck not to have Patrick Mahomes anymore and have whoever you have in Washington.
Well, yeah, you're going to end up with Heineke, and you're dealing with a franchise in flux right now. I don't know. I get the whole wanting to call your own plays, but isn't there another opportunity that would be better?
Yeah.
With a better franchise?
I saw a tweet thread earlier this week from an NFL reporter, and I don't remember seeing this before, where Andy Reid, like at one of the owners' meetings over the last couple of years, they went in and asked them, like, why have you not hired this guy? What is happening where you are not hiring this guy? And gave a bunch of reasons why they should have hired him, why he should be a head coach. Very strange.
I'm glad Andy's gone to bat for him, but it's very, very curious.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to a bit of a happier subject. It was announced yesterday that Bruce Springsteen is playing at Wrigley Field this August, and it was also announced that season 3 of Ted Lasso premieres on March 15th. What else can we do to make sports writers spontaneously combust out of joy?
Wow, you're going to throw Ted Lasso in with the boss?
Oh, the sports writers love the Ted Lasso.
It's a great show.
That's what I'm saying. This is all about the sports writer spontaneously combusting in excitement.
I don't want to get put into the boat that is obsessed with Springsteen. I really like Ted Lasso, but I don't go gaga for Lasso like the scribes do when they're like, I listened to Nebraska again. you know.
By the way, as a Cubs fan, I'm insulted that you would allow such riffraff on our field.
Yeah, that's true. Ted Lasso.
And this is a franchise that had many, many losing seasons. I can't believe.
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
What do you guys have against Bruce Springsteen?
He sucks.
He's overrated.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. The reason people like him, his country, he works so hard. So, in other words, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Give me someone who's that age who's better than him.
That age, Rolling Stones.
Got him.
Not
Who,
really.
The Who.
The Who.
They're not all together anymore.
Well, but
nope, it does not count.
No, the music's
Keith
overrated.
Moon's dead.
The music is over. I have never been a big fan of Springsteen, going way back.
Same.
It's just overrated.
Yeah, Dan, overrated.
Overrated.
Underrated.
He's no Ted Lasso, though. That's for
He's
sure.
got an album called Nebraska, and it's literally the saddest album you can ever listen to.
Exactly. He's making fun of our state.
Jordan says Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. Great answer.
Okay. Don't leave Genesis then.
He was good by himself.
By the way, Jordan points out that if Eric Bieniemy went to Washington, he says to Josh, he literally would be Eric the enemy. That's true.
Would be.
Eric the enemy.
You skipped around. There was
Dan,
several
what's
others
going on?
in there. Well, here,
I was worried about time.
Go to the Juju.
Yeah, what do you think of Juju Smith-Schuster's Valentine's tweet for a Valentine's Day card with a picture of Eagles defender James Bradbury and the words, "I'll hold you when it matters most"?
I honestly, you know how I feel about the Eagles. I thought that this was incredibly petty and not a move that I would have done.
Thank you.
Wow.
It'd be one thing if
I was very surprised.
It'd be one thing if the Eagles and James Bradbury
Had whined and cried about it. He
it.
owned up to it.
But Bradbury, after the game, in the heat of passion in that moment, is no. I held him. I tried to get away with it, and I didn't. He manned up. He took a lot of heat off the play. Took a lot of heat off the Chiefs having to defend the fact that they won another anticlimactic game. He took the heat off, and now Juju Smith-Schuster throwing him under the bus like this.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty stupid.
This is just the first of many things that disgusting franchise is now doing.
Disgusting.
This is why the Chiefs are now the most hated franchise in America.
You're the new Patriots.
You are the new Patriots. You're lower than the Patriots.
Wow.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Juju. If Bradbury had been adamant, hey, no, I didn't do it at all, then yes, I would have agreed. But no, this was petty.
Indeed.
Sad. We got to go to break.
Yeah, now we're out of time. Now we're out of
break.
time, Dan.
Because it's the bet of the day, and we have to celebrate the fact that I won again.
Oh, I didn't.
On 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
If the COVID pandemic should have taught us anything, it's that the worst estate planning anyone can do is do nothing. Write this number down, 402-397-5880. That's the number to the law office of Christian R. Blanc. Chris Blanc can walk you through the creation of your own estate plans that include power of medical attorney, living will, joint living trust, and more. Your initial consultation is always free. Call the law office of Christian R. Blanc at 402-397-5880.
Duck Defense Midwest makes your home healthier and improves the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com for a special duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. That's cleanairradio.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball season tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a pitch or run scored. 2023 season tickets include in-state rivals Creighton and Nebraska. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS. That's 402-554-MAVS.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
From sales to service, the Woodhouse team provides insights and solutions to get you on the road faster and keep you on it. And if you're looking for the extras like accessories, extended warranties, or service contracts, they've got those also. Plus, they'll tailor the experience to you, from shopping and buying at home or the more traditional route at one of the 18 conveniently located dealerships, bringing you more every time. Shop with Woodhouse.
This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
And I want more of the cream. I need the cream.
On 1620, The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you? Now, it's time for the unsportsmanlike conduct bet of the day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems.
Indeed it is. Last night, John was the winner. He had a 2-teamer. Villanova and St. John's both covered.
Nicely done.
Giannis to score 40 or more against the Celtics. He got to 36. So close. They did win. Speaking of them winning, Nick had the Bucks, the Suns, and the Clippers all to win. They did indeed. Dan, the last time that you were in was on Friday. You decided not to pick the Super Bowl. You picked the Timberwolves, and they lost by like 20.
Yeah, they did. They got
not great.
Boat race.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm going with a game, and I'm wondering if we are along the same wavelength again. I'm going with the Creighton women's basketball team tonight.
Ooh.
We're on 1180 The Zone. In like
starting in minutes.
Give me Creighton plus a 12.5 in stores. Connecticut this year, a lot of injuries. They didn't play very well in the first matchup, but I like them to keep it close this time. Jays plus 12.5, minus 120 is the juice.
I'm going to take Xavier plus 6.5 and Alabama, the only undefeated major conference in-conference play team remaining, is an underdog at Tennessee.
What?
The wrong team is favored. Give me Bama on the money line, plus 387.
By the way, this would get you above $0. Dan?
All right. I'm taking money line tonight on the NBA side. New Orleans Pelicans over the Lakers. And on the college basketball side, Fordham over St. Bonaventure plus 320.
It's bet of the day.
St. Bonaventure.
Brought to you by Peerless Energy.
Hello, Peerless Energy Systems.
Thank you, Peerless.
Tomorrow, we intend to do our taste test Thursday with the chili and cinnamon rolls ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
But if we get the snow,
we'll see with the weather.
We may be stuck in our in our cribs for tomorrow's program. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
That's the intention. Ravi Lula, Robin Washut will join us. Nick will be back.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be here no matter what.
He'll be here no matter what. That's the role of a fine producer. We appreciate Dan for sitting in again today.
Yep.
Very kind of you,
Always
Dan.
glad to be here.
We do. And for giving us another great line.
Oh, my gosh. Sucking it off the bone. Wow. Wild. Dan, you are a wild man.
I just,
Does
suck
your
it off the
lovely
bone.
mother who I met last week know you talk like that?
Yeah, Dan.
Gosh, no.
Yeah, that's good. Does she listen to the show?
Gosh, no.
All right.
That's because we talk like that.
Indeed. Yeah. I think that's why my mom sometimes doesn't listen to the show, because we talk like that. Don't make any jokes. Don't you dare make any jokes.
Didn't say
John,
anything.
drive home. I hope the snow doesn't arrive until you're home in
We'll
Lincoln.
see you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.